So I was saying that there was a video that my brother shared in our family group this morning, and it was a white man, a white American man. I don't know where it was. It was just 4 minutes, 9 seconds, I believe, of it. And he was saying, why should you come into Africa and pay us for digging our ground, taking our minerals, our diamonds, our everything we have, our cobalt, our zinc, all of our resources, pay us to dig the ground, to do the work for you, and then we give you our resources, you take it away, refine it because you have the processes and the resources, then come back to us and sell it to us. You are selling it back to us. And so we give you more money, but all you give us is the labor, the money of the labor. He said you need to stop it. You're stealing from them. That's not how the world works. He said the way the world should work is for you to ask us whether you can come into our countries and dig up our stuff. If we say yes, then you pay us for digging our stuff. And then we can decide to share the profits, the proceeds. It's our resources. And then you can take it away, create what you want to create with it, and then we will still take a share of that. That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to plan it. However, if you are not happy with this arrangement, that's perfectly all right. You're just going to have to leave us alone with our land, leave us alone with our resources, and wait till we develop what we need to develop to be able to dig up and refine all of our precious stones. I was so delighted to hear it. He said, because some of you have come and you say, oh, we are resetting. It's a reset. He said, yeah, what you want to do is to reset us back into the colonial days. Now, let me say this at this point. It is not their fault. When somebody offers you wickedness or something bitter, when you reach out your hand and say, yes, I'll take it. You say, yes, I'll take it. Or they give you money for this. You say, yes, I'll take it. Your fault, not theirs. They did not make that decision for you. You did. And I was mentioning this yesterday. I've apologized for the entire 5 days, so just accept my apology in case you get upset. I mentioned it yesterday that it's about time you quit waiting for a percentage off, something free, some kind of sponsorship because you are black and you live in Africa. Were you made less than the people who are a different skin tone? Were you made any different from men and women who are toiling? Well, no, not toiling, but some of them are, who are doing the work to put money in their pocket because you're not meant to toil. You are not meant to hustle. Who are doing what it takes to put money in their pocket. Oh, help us now. You should not be helped. That's thinking on steroids. You don't need help. You already got divine help. And until you begin to think spiritually, you're going to be like this, just like this. Be looking. You as you are like this. Be looking. With the small money that's entering your account, you'll be looking. And you will be like that because nothing changes in your life till something changes in your heart. For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. I was listening to one of my audiobooks today, and this guy said, a misperception is a block to knowledge. It is why we have to correct perceptions because it is a stepping stone to knowledge. There are many people who have misperceptions, or is that how to say it? Yes. Their perception, their concepts, how they perceive things, what they perceive is right, is not right. What they perceive is true, is not true. What they perceive is wrong, and what they perceive is right. They're opposite. So in one of the groups, I know quite a few people, let me say this here, have been clicking on the different groups because I've created a community for how to think global solutions. And you're clicking on specific groups. I want to join this, I want to join that, I want to. Some of them are paid groups. I've looked for how I can stop people from clicking to say I want to join. If you don't know anything about it, you won't really know what we do there. So until I advertise it again, some of them are paid groups. So if you find out that you are rejected out of the group, I don't say yes, that means it's a paid group. It's not because I'm kicking you out. I didn't know how to put it. I've looked for the technology. I don't know how to stop people from joining a group without paying for it. So once I advertise some of those groups again, and this is how much you need to pay to get into it. Some of them are just 7 days long. But oh, thank you for that, Kemi. But I thought I should mention that. So some people have wrong perceptions or misperceptions. So in one of those groups, somebody asked me a question. It's a group for only men, and it's how to think wisdom hub for men. And we talk 3 times a week. So this Wednesday we talked about finances, and somebody asked that what if you wait and wait and wait and you're doing what you've been doing, but you've been waiting so long? How when do you know how your persistence in doing what is right will pay off for you? How do you know? Because sometimes it gets frustrating. I had written, how long is long? Is long 1 month, 2 months, 5 years, 6 years? Then I erased that and I started answering the question. First, you have to know that, or as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. You have to know that even though you don't see gravity, gravity is working. Um, Namdi, if you see Pam coming, please let me know because I may not see her. So if you see, I think I should
All right,
spotlight
ma'am.
myself. Otherwise, I'll keep having spotlight for everyone. So if you see gravity, sorry, you don't see gravity, but it happens. Thank you, Namdi. It is there. There isn't anything you can do about it. So whether you see it or not, you're aware of it or not, is really irrelevant. Gravity will keep working, like every law on the face of the earth. So I looked up the meaning of that word law in different parts of the good book, the Bible, and I found out it means flow. I said Flow, flow. What does flow mean? Law means flow. I said, so what does that mean? Like, this word of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. I said, what does that mean? And then I carried on reading, and from flow, it changed to rain. RAIN, as in rain. So I said, rain. What does that mean? So I kept thinking, and I was praying, I was thinking, I was praying. God, what does that mean? What's it? Because how we understand laws is a law has been made, you need to obey it, and that's it. It's beyond that, it's deeper than that. A law always flows like gravity, it keeps flowing. There isn't anything you can do about it. When you think, you become. For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That's another law, it keeps flowing. Gravity keeps flowing. You don't see, it doesn't say you will see a law. It says laws flow. So peradventure, somebody is unaware or not conscious of the law of gravity, and goes to a roof and says, I'm going to jump down and I'm going to be suspended. They think to themselves, I'll be suspended in the air. The fact that they don't know about gravity does not mean gravity will not work. The fact that they don't see gravity does not mean gravity will not work. But their reality is a function of what they are aware of. And what you are aware of is all you can think on. So if you're one of those who argues, no, what you have said is wrong, you will never know. And so you will remain unaware of that reality. And so that person will jump, and if it's a really high roof, it's either they break their legs or they die. One of it, because gravity is working. And there isn't anything you can do about that. So give me a second, because I'm just noticing something has happened. Hold on, please.
All right, everyone. While we're waiting for her to come back, we can share the link to our various groups to invite people. Those who were here day one, day two, it was quite an amusing time. So you can always share the link and invite your people.
All right, so I had to sort out some mechanics in the house. I didn't realize power had gone, so I saw an emergency light. That was why I had to go. Okay. But I've sorted it out. Otherwise, my Wi-Fi would have gone down. Where was I? So if you are unaware of something, you cannot think of what you're unaware of. So those of you who spend your data looking at Facebook or any other social media platform, where you're not going to learn anything from it. You're not going to become a better person from it. You know, you won't know when you've scrolled, see the first shot, next shot, next shot. You just have to discipline yourself. There is no excuse for being small-minded. None. Because when it's time for you to use the wisdom that you've acquired and you have not acquired it, because there will come a time. If you are not a critical thinker, if you are not a thinker at all, there will come a time when you need to use it, but you don't have it. Because for you, it was, I'll do it tomorrow. Right? It doesn't matter now. I'll just go and read a book. I just want to ask EMEKA NOBIS. It doesn't matter. Coach Ken is there. Big deal. Let's just play first now. Mama's why I've gone out since morning. I've been looking at you. Remember that beautiful story? 10 virgins, 5 carried extra oil. Do you know how much work that was? They are traveling a distance and they have to carry this extra oil. Another 2 did not, the other 5 did not carry extra oil. When it was time to go in, everybody's oil had finished. They asked for oil from the ones who carried extra oil. They didn't carry extra oil for them. They carried it for themselves, not for the others. And they said, no, we can't share because it might not be enough for both of us. Go and buy yours. By the time they went, which they should have done earlier, by the time they went and came back, there was the door had been shut. Don't let that be you. Thinking small, thinking lazy, thinking, it's work, I can't do that. I remember we had carers for my mom, and I don't buy packaged food, all this powder, yam, powder, poundo. Yeah, I don't believe anybody does it. I don't understand why the government allowed us to import that. I don't get it. We are the makers of yam, not the West. We make yam. We grow it in the ground. Even if we don't want it to grow, it will grow. We make it, and then we are buying the fake powder that is not real yam. They've added all their chemicals to it. And so this lady, so I bought a little potam pesto for my mom. And I will boil the yam and I will pound it. I said, okay, I'm pounding it for the 3 of us we are going to eat. It's very little. So I said, do you not pound yam? I was hearing no. Kara 1, Kara 2. I said, hey, you do not pound yam. I said, I grew up in Nigeria, schooled in Nigeria. We were taught to pound. You don't know how to pound yam. I thought they were joking. She said, no, she doesn't know how to pound yam. Hey. I said, you will learn today. She did not know how to pound yam. Person 1, person 2, person 3. Young ladies. And this is sheer laziness. There was one girl who said, it's work. I just want to make it quickly. I said, you'll be eating poison. And then when you're 50-something years old, something will happen in your body. They say, you can't eat this. Is that the kind of life you want to live because you are lazy? And laziness is a function of thought. It's the way you think. This is too much, Joe. Another carer, I said, okay, I don't buy powder, anything like I say. So I make my mom's akara from scratch. So we peel, it's just a little cup. So we peel the beans and blend it and mix whatever we want to mix into it and fry it. I don't know how to make akara. We just buy. I said, you don't know how to make that. I said, let me show you. If you can't hear anything, Faith, Ola, why don't you log out and log back in? I'm sure you will hear then. It will correct itself. That's just technology for you. Sorry about that. And I showed her, she said, it's easy. I didn't know this is easy. If you don't find out, you would not know how easy it is. And then there was one more thing I wanted to share. Somebody has sent a message. You haven't put Palm Zone up, Namdi. I don't quite remember what she said. As all I do is teach the art of how to think. I call it the art and science of how to think. I was listening to Wallace Wattles on the science of being well. And he said the power to perceive truth is wisdom. So even though I teach how to think, if you don't get the right information, what are you thinking of? If you don't have the right perception, what are you thinking of? Whatever you have. You can't think on what you don't know, and you can't think on what you don't have. If you don't have the right knowledge, you'll be thinking of what you do have, which is the wrong knowledge. So it's not enough to just listen. You need to go and study. You need to pick up the books. You need to sit still on one verse of scripture or one sentence in one book or whatever. And you just need to be looking at it like, milk it. One sentence, just milk it. Say, what else is in here I haven't seen? What else is in here I haven't seen? What does it mean? Go and have a conversation with somebody at that level, not people lower than that, not people who would be bored. What are you talking about? I beg, I don't read books. Oh, what's all this one? This your Igbo is too much. You are talking to the wrong person. Don't do that. Spend time with people who are just as interested and who desire to find things out. You know, it is the honor of kings to hide a matter. I've forgotten the other word. What does it say? But it is the something of men to draw it out. Draw it out. Draw out the wisdom. Draw it out. Think on it. Think on it. Think on it. Don't just see somebody doing something and copy them. Oh, everybody's doing this. Everybody's going here. I need to go there. They said this is what's working. Sit down and think. Look forward to being the only one doing that one thing. I absolutely enjoy it. I'm not afraid of being wrong. If I'm wrong, I say to people, if I'm wrong, I would rather go to heaven being wrong. I find out later that I was wrong than find out that I was wrong because I was following the multitude. I'm not interested in following the multitude. I want to have my own convictions and follow them with my full chest. I'm not going to argue with you. You can't argue with silence and you can't argue with truth. It's okay. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to agree. You do yours. Leave me alone. Let me do mine. If there's something to learn from you, I will come. If you have something to teach, come, show me. I will listen. What is not for me, I will tease out. What is mine? So it's thinking. When we ask for reviews, a lot of people, a few, very, very few of you wrote in the group about, oh, what you learned yesterday and the day before. And I was noticing they were just sentences. Oh, Dr. Atiba said this. Oh, Dr. Naomi said this. Samuel Femi said this. John Obidi said this. Just those words. No. What did you pull out of what they said? How are you going to use it? What did you pull? What did you suck out of it? Because if you suck nothing out of it, like I just said, the power to perceive truth, this is wisdom. Yeah. It's God's privilege to conceal things. Thank you. And it is the king's privilege to discover them straight up. It's your privilege to discover. Go and look. Thank you, God's power. Thank you. It's actually a privilege of yours. That's NLT though. That I found this. Be the innovator and don't stop there. When you innovate, look at what you've innovated on and innovate on it. Don't stop there and say, we made this. We made this. No. You do not know the capacity God has given you as a human. What he has put inside of you. If you are aware that he has endowed you with his nature, his power, you will not stop where you are and you will not struggle. I took a lot of time today, about 3 hours meditating, acknowledging and seeing and feeling that, yes, I'm one with God. I'm same as God. I have the same access he does. I can create like he does. So I kept creating. I created and created and created and created and created. I kept imagining. I kept seeing. When a stupid thought, I would go back to my creation. I said, no, I am prosperity. I am abundance. Not I will be. No. I am abundance. I am prosperity. I am opulent. I am rich. I am wealthy. Then I go into all the things I need. I want to use all that money for. And I see them happen. I was taking my time. Is it cake? Describe it. What's the color? What kind of icing do you want? How many layers? What kind of flavor? Something as simple as cake. So this guy in the group, he said, how would I know that, how will I know when to stop trying? Well, number one, don't try. Number two, the other thing I said to him, I think I said it, the laws of God are unrefutable. The laws God has put in the earth. You can't stop gravity. You can't stop the law of heat. The sun gives us heat. You can't. There is nothing you can do. So far as a man thinks in his heart, so you see, it's a law, it's a principle, it will happen. Without fail, it's going to happen. If you just stay there with this sense and the belief that it will happen. So it's not the words I'm speaking. It's not the sentences. It is the thinking that goes into those words and those sentences that you should be engaging in. I used to hear, make your brain sweat. When you get to a point, you start thinking, I say, this hard. You're on the right track. It's because you're not used to it. You are on the right track. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It will get better. It will become easier. But when I started, it wasn't easy. I was just bombarded with all this negativity. Talking about negative and positive, there are 2 minutes when I was studying it. Studying simple words. You'll be shocked at the insight you will get, because our English words have been messed up. There is a depth to how we speak today. But if you don't study it, you will miss it. So I looked at the word negative, I looked at the word positive. Because when I started teaching, people were saying, you mean I should think positive? I said, no. Everybody is using it, so it has lost its power. I said, no, that's not what it means. But I didn't know what it meant. So one day I said, go into the dictionary. And then, guys, go beyond the dictionary and go into an etymology dictionary. If anybody can spell etymology, please type it. Etymology. Etymology dictionary. Go into the etymology dictionary. So you will find where words began. Yeah, thank you, Olatuni. Go and look at the original meaning of an English word. The words usually come from Latin, from French, Old English. The meaning that we give to it today is different from how it started, and from Greek. You need to check these things out. Yeah, from Greek, from Latin. I eventually downloaded the etymology dictionary on my phone, so I can just look there. Just like the parable of persistent widow, thank you. And the wicked judge, you've got it. Exactly. How did the widow know that if she kept knocking on and she was knocking on the door of an unjust judge, a man that did not fear God, did not fear anybody, was just wicked. People will suffer around him. He didn't care. He said, just in case so I get wahala, let me just give her what she wants. It's a law. Just stick with it. It's a law. It will work. That's why I tell people not just to read the Bible using English Bible, but to look at the original translations in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. Start small. Start small. The meaning of negative, and you'll be amazed at what the dictionary by itself will give you. The meaning of negative in the English language, English dictionary, is the negative, the absence of; positive, the presence of. Let me say it again. When you say you are thinking negatively, you are thinking the absence of something. When you say you are thinking positively, you are thinking the presence of something. So that means if you want something and you keep thinking, it won't come. And that's how we've been praying for how many years? And that person, they will never give it to us. That's how they promised us last year. They are not coming this year. You are thinking the absence of what you want. So you're saying it won't come, yet you say you want it. You can't serve two masters. You can't think right and wrong. You can't think negatively and positively. You can't say, I want and I don't want. At the same time, you must agree. I've told you, your cells, the very cells of your body must be in agreement for anything amazing to happen for you. You can't just be going to church or not, or just reading the Bible or not. Frankly, just remove your religious hats, please, quickly, and put on your thinking cap and be saying, oh, it will happen for me. No, it won't. It's lacking. It's as if we don't have any more neurons, no more brains. It's as if it's empty, because we are not doing what we are seeing. And we can't do so many Davids here. And we cannot do if we don't know. There's a system, according to Joshua chapter 1 verse 8, which I just noticed today. The Bible is a very simple book. And I wrote it down. What did I call it? The road to prosperity and success according to the laws of life. It's what I titled it. Because that's what Joshua 1:8 says. The road to prosperity and success. Number one, know the laws of the universe. It says this word of the law. So know the laws. You've downloaded it. Thank you, Olatuni. Know the laws of the universe. Think on these laws all day through the night. It says, and thou shalt meditate on it day and night. It's simple English. Don't KJV it into your brain. It's simple English. So think on those laws all day through to the night. So have specific days, times in your day when you're going to make, even if it's 1 minute, once a day, keep to your time. Twice a day, keep to your time. When I checked up the meaning of that word day in Joshua 1:8, it says slots of time. Specific times. So when some people stand up to preach, you say, whoa, they are smart. No, it's accessible. The thing that you are talking about is accessible. It's right there. They looked at it. They took time to study. They took time to pray. They took time to look at it. Look at the perfect law of liberty. They kept looking at it. Like, look, there's instruction. I remember when I was meditating today, I saw a woman I can describe the Ankara she was wearing, but it was wide and straight. And he had a tie here, you know, where they put strings and tied on her shoulder. She was short and a bit plump. And she walked like this, round in front of me and to the side. And I said, what is that? You'll be shocked at what you see when you take time to meditate. Things that you knew nothing about. That's what I call thinking spiritually. You will get insight of things you were not praying about. You didn't even ask the question. But that's how God is. He has endowed you with that power. That's how he is. So those things will just come to you. Expect it. Know that that's who you are. You shouldn't be hustling. You should take your time. Meditate on what you want. The presence of, that's positive. You want the presence, so you are thinking on it deeply. You are feeling it. You are sensing it. You're saying, okay, when I go out today, when I open my shop, I'm going to make 1 million naira today. It's going to bombard you because you've never made 500,000 in a day, some people, let's say. And you're like, Please, is anyone else having the same issues? I can't hear audio. Somebody said it earlier. Can you unmute and let me know if you can hear me, please? You may need to log out. Yes. Hey, my sis. Princess Adiola is here. Thank you for being here. Oh, we can hear. Okay. Princess says they can hear. Anybody else not here? You can hear. To Abdul Latif said he can hear clearly. Yeah, if you go out and come back in, it usually clears it out. Think on what you want. Look, you've got the mind of Christ. Have you ever thought of that? Think about it. Now. I have the mind of, wait. The mind of the anointing and the anointed one. I have it. Not you are going to have it. Not God is coming to bless. God, come and bless. It's a lie. That's not the way to pray. He has clearly stated that I've blessed you with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Christ. The blessings are in heavenly places, but he has blessed you with it here where you are. Not when you die now. So you should be expectant of amazingness. You can hear clearly. Thank you everyone for saying they can hear. So please go out and come back in and it should clear it. If it doesn't clear it, please send us a message again. Yes, the mind of Christ always knows what to do. But you know, because we live in this noisy world, our thinking is, this is happening. And that's why you close your eyes when you meditate. So you meditate to a point where you can meditate with your eyes open. And there's so much to this. It's not just all I'm saying. You need to have a basis. You need to have the foundation. So when people come to me to learn the fine art of how to think, the first thing I teach is the ready formula. The reason I created that was because as people start coming to me, I will give them information and maybe they'll to work with me for 3 months. That's the one-to-one minimum time, only one-to-one. And before I know it, they balk like, I can't do this. So they start giving me reasons. No, I don't do excuses. Just call a spade a spade. I'm tired. I'm lazy. I prefer that. Now for you to say, the dog came and the cat went away, and it's because of what you will say. I did it, but we did it this way. So stop. Don't lie to yourself. Stop it. Just say I don't want to. I don't want. The number of times I didn't want to walk today, at the speed at which I was moving when I worked out this morning. I said to myself, your body is not as strong as you are. You are stronger than your body. Oh, yeah, move. And I want to look at, because I do an hour, and I want to look at my time. How many minutes? Oh, God, 21 minutes. Oh. I kept going. I said, come on, keep going. Keep going. You are stronger than. It was my thinking that was saying to my body, you are tired, slow down. I said, body, you are not tired. You are strong. Keep going. Keep going. Because I wanted to, at the very minimum, hit 7K steps. At the very minimum, that's where I must always be. But the aim is 10K, and I know that means I need to move faster. But the less food you eat, the better for you. So where was I? Because then you will move faster. Because you're not carrying the weight. I know the difference now. Where was I? Can somebody remind me where I was? I was talking about thinking negatively, thinking positive. I was building up to a crescendo. I don't remember. I've lost my train of thought. If somebody reminds me, I'll carry on from there. Yeah, remember that you have the mind of Christ. Yes, thank you. The mind of Christ. Thank you, my sister. The mind of Christ. You haven't thought of that at all. Do you know what that means? Somebody say, his mind is not good, though. His mind is bad. You know how we say it in Nigeria? The way he's thinking, it's not good, though. He's a dangerous man. Think about the kind of mind. And you know what Christ means? It doesn't mean a person. It's not the name of a person. It means the anointing. I have the mind of the anointing. Look up the meaning now. Hey, you get bad mind. Exactly. Thank you, Hope. Yo are following me. Thank you. You get bad mind. You get bad mind. To say it the way we say it. See, but that's not what the anointing. You see, the Bible says that, and the word became flesh. Have you ever thought about that? That these words become flesh. Words, you can't see them, you can hear them. Spirit, you can't see it, but you can sense it. You know, when you go and visit somebody, a couple, and you knock on the door, and they open the door, and then you sense that something has been going wrong. A good man or a good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man, yeah. For of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Yep. How does your out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks? How does your heart become abundant? Abundant with what? Either good or evil. Yes, words are creative materials that eventually manifest. I love the way everybody's writing, but do you live this way? Me that I teach for, as a man thinks in his heart, I have to ask myself, I think it was just last week, Kemi, who are you? I said, as a man thinks in his heart, so you see, what are you thinking? That's who you are right now. I said, even me who teaches it are not sunk. So I want you to just slow down. Let it sink. Let it go in. Don't play. Don't mess about. Don't joke. You know, don't just say, and if you sleep off when you meditate, it's all good. It's perfect. When you wake up, carry on or go to the next thing. Yes, let it sink. When something sinks, it affects you. It changes you. It transforms you. And remember, there's a difference between change and transformation. But let me not get into that. There are two different things. I think in the first day we talked about transformation. But the first thing I teach people is I find out whether they are ready. Are you ready for this journey of how to think? Because if you're not ready, not only will you give yourself trouble, you give me trouble. And I don't want trouble. When I started, there was trouble. Why aren't you doing this? I told you to do this. But my leg, my back, my egg. I said, okay. I didn't want to coach anybody again. I said, everybody stay there. And I went to God. I said, this thing you're giving me is too much. Can't you give me somebody else that's doing it so that we can do it together? Because I can't. And gradually I understood this, your work. And the more you learn, the easier it becomes for you. So God has been teaching me by his spirit. So what it means for the word to become flesh is that the words you speak, we believe what we set our mind to. I agree. So what are we setting our mind to? And how do you set your mind? What sets your mind up? If I haven't told you, the building blocks of the mind are thoughts. And that's what I teach you. If you get the thoughts right, you choose the right thoughts to think on, to envision, to see, to meditate, to imagine, to mutter those same words. And you know, this unjust judge, even though he's an unfair judge, he steals money. He does not help the citizens. He lies in court. He just takes money. I'm going to keep knocking till he helps me. I'm going to keep knocking till he helps me. I'm going to keep knocking till he helps me. Because it's a law, it will work. How about the man that Jesus said, what would you like me to do for you? He was blind though. Now, when you get to a blind man, how can you say, what do you want? Is it obvious what he wants? He wants to see. But God needs to know that you want it. When somebody wants something, there is a way they behave. There is a way they do things if they really want it. I'm very, what's the word? I know that. I feel it. I sense it. So once you begin to do, watch you for, then I say, I'm done. We are not working together. Bye-bye. See you. If I teach you the same thing over and over and over and over again, and you're still not doing it, I'm painstaking. I'll take my time. But if you persist in remaining small-minded as you are when you came to me, you are no better. You need to be going because you don't want it. And I'm not going to force it down your throat. It's not by force. You don't have to want it. It's your life now. It's not my life. But you can be going. But we are not working together. I still love you, but this close, we are working together. We're making choices together. It's not going to happen. No. I don't feel sorry for you. No. It's not going to happen. I'm just reading a message. Yeah. When it comes time, I had prepared something, so yes, I will. I've already mentioned that to him. Thank you. So I'm trying to remember my train of thought again. Your thoughts set your mind. They're the building blocks of your mind. So you've got to forget your mindset. Look for what will set it. Forget your mindset. Look at what you have put to set it. If you want to build a mud hut, you use mud. Those are the thoughts of that hut. It became a hut because you use mud. So when it rains, rain will get rid of it a bit, and the more it rains every year till you have to put more mud. But if you choose to use bricks, and so the wall is solid and the house is straight, and you put steel rods, then you have set your mind to take strong things. That's the way it is. How does the word become flesh? That is the immaterial becoming material. The immaterial becoming material. That's manifestation for you. In the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. And the word dwelt amongst us, and the word became flesh and dwelt among us. You need to stop the KJV and the religious. Stop it. You've got to actually intentionally, actively stop it. If the things you are saying, like Princess wrote, out of the abundance of that, the mouth speaks. Where do you think? It says, as a man thinks in his heart. So those thoughts are happening in the heart. They come out, and there's a whole big thing about the heart. There are different words for heart, depends on. But as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So he thinks in his heart, and if you speak out of the abundance of that heart, it is those thoughts, therefore, that have become the words that come out of your mouth. Because just as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. You speak the words that are out of your mouth. You can't speak that are out of your heart. You can't speak words that are not in your heart. You speak words that are in your heart. But how did they get there? You thought. And thinking is volitional. Thinking is in your control. It's not, nobody can say, I want you to think on this, and you must think on this, and then you are forced. You are not forced. You make a choice. You make a choice. I think Namdi will show you. There's something we want to give everybody on the last day. Is it on the last day we're going to do it, Namdi? Or I've written a book. Well, I've written many, but this one, I want to give it out to you for free because it will help you think right. It's a 100 how to think quotes that will help you think right every day. So it's a little quote that I created, and then I explain it to get you to start thinking right. So what's the ready formula? The ready formula stands for READY, ripe already. The R is ripe already. Are you, when a mango is ripe for the eating, when it's growing, the fruit is growing. Remember, you're told to be fruitful. Oh. They say it's fruit of the spirit, fruit. It says the works of the flesh are then the fruit. There's one that's work, is of the flesh, then there is fruit. The fruits are good. The works of the flesh are bad. Check these things out. Check the things. Sit down. Just slow down. It's not I read the Bible from cover to cover. I've read the Bible in 1 year. I read it in 3 months, the whole Bible. So look at your life. We don't see it. There's nothing amazing about you. You are born amazing, and then you hid your amazingness. You put your light under a bushel, under a tree, under your chair, under your bed, because you are not aware. You are not conscious of who you are. So when a mango tree grows, the fruit is growing on the branches. Don't forget what he also says about the branches, because you are the branch. A branch can't just jump off the tree. I'm going to grow myself. He said, you can't. You need juice from the vine, from the back of the tree, the body of the big tree. That's what's feeding the branches, that's feeding the fruits. But some of us just want to jump and do it. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. But when a mango is growing, depending on the type, the species of mango, there are different types, small ones. Some stay green, some go mottled yellow, some go really yellow. If you don't pluck it when it's ready for eating, it drops to the ground. What it is telling you is, I am ready, eat me. And if you, human, you do not see it on time, the birds will see it, some animal will see it, and it will be eaten. It is ready. When it's ready, it is soft, it's succulent, the size has changed, everything about it. When you are ready, we will see. You will know. You will meet with a roadblock and you say, where I'm going is just behind over there. That's where I'm going. You will find a way over, around, through the roadblock, but that you will stop, it's not possible, because this is where you are going. So when you are ready, we will know, okay, I'm ready, I'm going. Then, or it will spoil. Yeah, or it will spoil. Thank you, Hope. Then the E is for equipped. You are actually equipped to achieve all that's on your heart. Please, today, I would like, if you know anybody in the group that's not here, please invite them. Reach out to them now on Facebook or wherever, in their DMs, and invite them to come. It's amazing how I think we have over 350 people, and each time we have not gone over 60, 162. Why did we register? What did we register for? So invite them. They don't have to come, but invite them. The E is for equipped. You are equipped to do exactly what you keep dreaming about, what you keep seeing. The size is totally irrelevant. You are equipped. At the beginning of teaching how to think, which is not mindset, I keep telling people, is how to think, it's thought set. I felt I was not equipped. I didn't even know what equipment I did. I just thought, nobody else is doing this now. I've looked from beginning of this end, across the internet, backwards, upside down, every platform. Ain't nobody doing this. Nobody is doing this. The things courses I've created, you won't find it anywhere. Because he taught me and I did it. He came through me and I did it. We are not boasting. We are just saying this is hard work. So I was looking for support, like, who else does this? And many people don't get it. Like, what's she talking about? Is it no mindset? We know mindset. Hey, there's mindset coach. Is there mindset? I'm not a mindset coach. That's far. Those people are senior to me. I am at the roots. Your thoughts are roots. You are equipped. The in ready is that you are equipped to do what you're supposed to do. This is how to learn how to think. It's a fundamental. It is actually the first fundamental. There are 52 fundamentals I have found for to learn the fine art and science of how to think. So you need to know you're equipped. When you have the equipment for something, this is not a screwdriver, for example. When you have the right equipment, then you can unscrew whatever it is and it will be easy. But if you are not aware that you are having these big dreams because you are equipped to fulfill them, you just sit down there and probably die with the dream. Because your thinking stinks, because you did not go get the knowledge and bring it to the place of understanding. Then the A in ready is available. Are you available for this change that you say you want? This new thinking that you say you want, this transformation? And the A also stands for adjust. What do you need to adjust in your life so that you can do this thing? They stop to adjust, stop doing, to start doing. Start small, start big. Stop taking baby steps. You're not a baby. Take adult steps. Stop repeating some expressions because everybody say, take baby steps. I'm not taking baby steps. I'm taking adult steps. I don't have time for baby steps. But that's not what it means. They don't mean that you should walk a little. Oh, yes, it does. It means you should walk a little. That's what baby means. We always have these excuses. Oh, no, you're taking literally. How else do you want me to take it? How else do you want me to take you? I am. Yes, of course. I'm not doing baby steps. I don't allow you to use a three-letter word when you work with me. Try. Yeah, we try. What try means is I'm going to take a stab at this. I will see if it will work. Which means you've set the thoughts on your mind. It may or may not work. That you started with that. Immediately you become that person who is sitting on the fence. It may work, it may not work, but let's stay here. Don't let's stay in it will work. Let's just stay in the middle and see, at least we try. So when it doesn't work, which is what you are thinking most, I tried, Coach Kemi, I tried. Yeah, if you try, it won't work. You need to know what you want, where you are going. Declare it, state it, and start the journey towards it. Ask anybody. They start a journey. Do you think they know how it will pan out that they will to be accomplished? We don't know. We don't know, but we keep going. So you've got to be very clear. What is the flavor of cake you want? Strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, dark chocolate, light chocolate. What do you want? Now you say, just any cake. You will get just any cake. Literally. Because a man thinks in his, let it sink. What do you need to adjust? And are you available for the tweaks that you need to make? Or are you going to be giving excuses? She said I should think, my work. The nature of my work, I'm on shift and I usually do nights. And yes, I can see. Yes. He's here already. He knows all about it. It's okay. I have things to say. It's really okay. So, and the D is decide. Decide what you are going to do. Now you've said you are ready. You're equipped. You are available. You are ready to make the adjustments. Ready or ripe. That's what the R stands for. Ready or ripe. You are D. Now decide, what am I going to do? Am I going left? Am I going right? Am I standing? Am I coming? Am I going? What am I going to do? You need to make a decision. A clear-cut decision. It doesn't mean you won't fall. That's not a biggie. Get up. Don't stop quoting, having quotes. And the person who falls is not a failure. It's the person that falls and stays down. But when it comes, you won't remember that quote. You will fall and you will stay down. And then you'll be wondering. But you will not remember that quote. We're filled with quotes in this country. We need to stop it. And the why is for yes. Yes, I'm doing it. Not maybe, not I'll try. Once you say, I will do it. Before we conclude, we have tried our best. I think we need to know to what degree. What if our effort is just 20% of a goal that requires 100%? I don't care what percentage you start at. Just keep going. Just keep going. Don't stop till you achieve. Dr. Atiba taught me, he said, he helps people accelerate towards their goal. So I said, helps people achieve their desires. And once they achieve their desire, that's their goal. I said, pardon? People always say, write your goal, write your goal. He said, no, it's not their goals they're writing, it's their desires. When they get to achieve their desires, they have hit their goal. I said, OMG, that is so true. He taught me this just a few days ago. I said, wow. So it's your desire. What is your desire? Make it clear, distinct. If you want to tell somebody where you live, that they're coming to visit you, you will say just around Shomolu in that area. You will tell them roadside posts, the name of the road. If you have, it's very clear. So why do you not want to be clear about spiritual things or about all the things you want to do? Be clear. Step out and start. I've never done a 5-day webinar like this. I've never invited all this number of people at once like this. I've never done things this way, but I'm doing it. And God surprises us every single day. So be ready, all right? If you want to transform your mind, I'll probably tell you about that. But before I invite EMEKA NOBIS, I want to do an experiment. You need to put your hands out like this, like you can see my camera, out like this, in front of you like that, okay? And you need to close your eyes. If you are watching me, you are not doing it right. I need you to close your eyes and put your hands up. If you've done this before, you know what's coming. So on your left hand, I want you to put a feather, the feather of a chicken, just one on your left palm. And make sure it doesn't blow away. So kind of maybe crop your fingers so that it doesn't blow away. On your right hand, I want you to think. I didn't say get up. Think of the 3 largest books in your house and put them on your right hand in your imagination. Get those 3 largest books and put them on your right palm. Your palm. So hold those 3 large books. Don't let them fall. Then go and get another 3 books and put it upon those 3 books. So you should have 6 books on your hand. Then still on your right hand, get another 3 books and put it on your hand. Hold it. They should not fall. The feather should not blow out and they should not fall. So the feather is in your left hand and the books, the 9 books in your imagination and your right hand. You should have done it by now. Now, you can open your eyes. Can somebody tell me, was there a difference in both hands? And if there was, what was the difference? If there was no difference, type here, there was no difference. If you want to unmute and tell us there was a difference, please go ahead. Yeah, what's the difference? Tell us the difference. Thank you, Abdulatif. What's the difference? If everybody did it, everybody should be fighting to type. In the rushing to type. No, it's not the thinking. I want to know what happened to your hand. No, not the thinking of it. What happened to your hand? I didn't notice a difference. Yep, some people do say that. The right hand became heavier. Yep. Every time I do it, my right hand becomes heavier. They measure the same in weight to some people. Yep. The right hand became heavier. It was heavier. Yeah, the right hand was heavier. Correct. Anybody else? That is the power of thought. Thoughts are things. There was a difference. On my left hand, it was lighter but heavier on my right hand. The right hand became slightly heavier. Thank you. Was there anything on your right hand? No. But your right hand was feeling the weight of your imagination. Yes, it is connected to our thoughts. Yes, that's what I am proving. That your imagination it's invisible. Put some things on your hand and there was nothing there. Yet you are feeling it physically. It became a physical thing. Yet there was nothing there physically. So imagine thinking that way about you are going to do an event and you want the event to go a certain way. And you keep that thought. And you keep that thought. It will become. It's a law. It will be. It will generate. It will generate. Remember that. Don't play with it. Do not play with it. Hello, Mr. Nobis. I hope this has served somebody. The book I imagine putting on my right hand is very heavy and I actually felt the weight. So I don't understand it, but that's how it works. Our subconscious mind doesn't know what's real or not. Why some cry when watching a movie. Hello, sir. This is famous Mr. EMEKA NOBIS. It's famous. Okay, Namdi was doing what I was saying. So you're still mute. Oh, okay. You want us to unmute you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or okay. It's okay. Correct. It's okay now, right?
Yep. Okay now. So thank you so much for being here. Mr. Nobis was the first to get into the room at 12 minutes to 7. So we'd already had our conversation, Mr. Namdi, because he kept, bring him on, bring him on, bring him on. I said, it's all right, we're good. And I just think differently. It's not a big deal. What I was going to say is it does get better. That's the topic with Mr. Nobis. May I say something to you, famous Mr. EMEKA Nobis? Yes. May I say something to you, sir? You know,
yeah, go ahead.
There's something I feel when he responds to me. So I like all these people, I don't talk to them every day. For months, sometimes we don't talk. I'll be in their posts or whatever. I'll say a thing or two. But you know, there's a lot going on, so you can't be in everybody's post. But so once in a while. But every time he responds to me, I was thinking about it this morning. There is a gentility that I sense. I always feel it. When he asks a question, it's gentle. And he's writing, he's not talking to me. So it's not like I heard his voice. And I've been thinking about it like, why do I always sense this gentility? This is beyond kindness. It's a depth of kindness I've never felt with anybody else. It's just, the word kind comes to me, but it's deeper than that. He's a good man. You're a good man, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ma.
We like the white if you like it's nice. It's making you look. So thank you so much for responding. Thank you for
thank you. Here.
And I just want to ask you, does it really get better? And how is that related to our thoughts?
Yes, Ma. Well, we can consider two sides of the coin, but for the purpose of this conversation, we are looking at how individuals can get better and better at what they do, or how they live their lives, or their expressions, or in their relationships, because it's something that should be desired. It's something that should be we want to have as a given in our lives. That, you know, you have been quoting the scriptures here, and if I can go on that, you know, the path of the just man is a shining light that shines brighter and brighter. It shows there's a progression of betterment. So tomorrow has to be better than today. Next tomorrow has to be better than tomorrow. Just like that, you know, constantly in that progression until we leave the earth. And that is what we want to embrace as a living concept, or as a living expression of our lives every day. But then life also throws the other side of the coin, is that life can also throw a coin, you know, can throw us some curves, you know, especially with regards to maybe our health and certain businesses we run. Like today, before getting on this call, something happened in our office in the office complex where my office is. In the past 1 year, they have increased our rent 3 times because of the current realities of the nation, and we kept on paying. So the second time the rent was increased, 30% of the individuals who had the offices in the complex, they left. And now today they had to call us for a meeting again, and they're now considering to shut down the complex because they are spending a lot of money to run. So usually they were spending like 20 million, you know, to run the complex in a year. Now we have just gotten to the middle of the year. That amount of money has gotten to 39 million. And they're saying that if they pass on the charge on us, it means that every one of us will now pay by next month an 80% increase on the amount of money that we're paying. And from the analysis, it means that many of the people who are using that complex will definitely leave, because it will be far too expensive for them to maintain. A few of us may remain, but the few of us remaining may not really pull up what is needed to be able to keep the complex running. So definitely, they've told us today, everybody start thinking of leaving the complex, you guys start looking for any other place where your office is. And in that situation, it didn't really get better. That's the truth. And so we arrived at a concept of what we call in business the dead horse. You know, the horse is dead, and no matter how you flog it to come back to life, it's not getting better. And so you just cut your losses and move on. And sometimes even in medical science, you find individuals who are sick and their health continues to decline and decline and decline, and gets to the point where they just exit the earth. But for the conversation tonight, want us to embrace the other concept, because we're not talking about death or, you know, declining health. We are talking about the expressions of our lives. How do we live? The dimensions of our lives. How we live, how we relate, how we think in our head, how we meet our deadlines and goals, how we set, you know, the pursuit that we are pursuing, the things ahead of us, and how we are, you know, getting better and better in terms of our personal development, in terms of our essence, and in the things that we do to be able to achieve the results that we want to achieve in our lives. So yeah, with intentionality, you can get, but the thing is this, it cannot get better without intentionality. And that's the truth. It can't get better without intentionality. Well, if you look at the animals, or you look at the bushes, if you don't do anything about the bush will grow, basically. You don't need to be intentional about that. But that's the difference between us as human beings and animals and the bushes. We can't just grow without intentionality. That's the truth. We can't grow in the things, in our relationships, in our businesses, in our lives, in the expressions, and in how we relate to people, in how we pursue our goals. We can't just get them done except we're intentional. So that's the difference between humans and us. And I think that's one distinguishing feature that distinguishes us from the animals, distinguishes animals and human beings. And so, yes, it can get better with intentionality, with thoughts. We are thinking about it. And the truth is the fact that for everything that I think I've achieved in my life, they came first and foremost, as a thought in my head, or in my mind, or in my spirit, whichever, or in my heart, whichever anybody wants to, This afternoon, you looked at a post of mine that I did where I'm thinking of having a studio, and you said something to me that I should keep thinking about it, that my thoughts will be processed into reality. And yes, that's how it is. So when we are thinking about these things, we allow them, they dwell in us, they embody our being, we are thinking about it, we are sleeping about it, we are mulling over it, we are waking up with waking thoughts. And the more these thoughts are constantly receiving breaths in our being, we are constantly moving towards their reality, and they are becoming life, in solid format, in existence. So that's what I can share with regards to that. And sometimes we find out that what makes most of us not to achieve certain things is actually as a result of fear. And that fear is what will happen if I take this step. I remember the first time you said to me, "Oh, EMEKA, you're charging too low." You said to me, that was the time I was charging 200,000 naira. You said to me I should put it to 500,000 naira. In my head, I was like, "Oh, who's going to pay me 500,000 naira? How possible is that?" And then one day I woke up, sorry for the use of my word, I said, "Fuck it, man." And then I put it at 500,000 naira. The next thing, somebody asked me to come and speak, and they paid. I was like, whoa, and then he came back to me again and he said 1 million. I said, this one don't come again. Which guy will I like you on this one? Which guy will I like you on this? And then I said, okay, let me just obey. I did the first time, it worked, and then I put it at that amount, and then it worked. And then he came back and said to me, 2 million. Yeah, it's that fear that who will. I tell you for a fact that I did last year. I started to do something like called VIP intensive. I don't know, maybe you've seen it before. And in my head, I was like, okay, 50K, and I did it. I felt I wanted only 50 persons to attend that event, and boom, within the first 1 week or 2 weeks, 50 individuals have paid 50,000. I was like, whoa, what's happening here? It never happened to me before. And then I said, okay, let me make it up to 100. And boom, we had 105 individuals in that class. And these individuals made those payments within 3 weeks. Okay, Dr. Alfred is here. Dr. Thanks, welcome for being here. And then boom, it happened. And guess what? This year I said, okay, let me make it 100,000. And let me tell you, absolutely true, people paid for it. And people were like, I want to look at, many years ago, I used to look at people like Steve Harris. I used to look like Gauda, and I was seeing in their classes, they are charging back then 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 naira. And I'm looking at right now, I saw one of them, really, I don't want to mention his name. He had fixed 100,000 naira. And I'm like, man, whoa. So yeah, the individuals that you are really dreaming to be like, it seems like you're on the same level right now. And I fixed 100,000. And let me even, next year I said to individuals, 200,000. Will you believe that some individuals are actually telling me, keep a slot for me now? Keep a slot. I'm going to send my money. And I came to the office and I said to my staff, I'm saying, a time will come when this will be 500,000. A time will come when this will be 1 million. And it's not about we are going to cram them with value, like, let people so that we have chunked them down with value because it's 1 million naira. No, it will still be the same thing. The same teaching, the same coming together, drinking wine and eating and going home. And I told them, guess what? The individuals who are thinking at that level, you may be so good at what it is that you do, but you fix 10,000 naira to it. these high-level thinking individuals won't come, no matter how great that thing is. But the fact that you have not made it 100, you have made it 500, made it 1 million, made it 2 million, they are now at the same realm of thoughts, so to say. And then they want to come to associate with you. And that's what I'm seeing happening right now. So, yeah, it gets better and better. And the more we're able to deal with the fears in our hearts and push forward, the things that we are desiring to achieve actually come to reality. Yeah, so that's what I can say about that, man.
Thank you, Mr. Nobis.
Thank you, man.
I like the way he is just natural. He's himself. He gives you his own personal examples and experiences. How do they say it in academia? That his lived experiences.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he said, when we deal with the fear, one way I deal with fear is, I remember that fear is a thought. And if I want to get rid of it, I just think different. Finish. Before, I used to follow feel the fear and do it anyway. I can't. I'm paralyzed when I feel it. So I'd rather say, feel the courage and do it anyway. I'm not feeling no fear. Has fear ever helped anybody? Well, who fear help? I don't know. Maybe some people, but it doesn't do anything for me. Since you are in control of what you think, and fear is simply a thought. What if it doesn't work? What if I lose the money? You're just thinking. So change the thought to what you want and marinate yourself in it. Just stay there and keep seeing it working exactly with precision, how you want it to work. And then that's when you will step out. You will know when to step out. Sometimes you don't need to step out. Sometimes somebody will come to you and offer you that thing you've been thinking, and you just appear like, how did they know?
Can I shock you with something that happened? And so after the event, I put out an offer. After the event, like 3 or 4 days after, I put out an offer for 200,000 naira. I put it in the same group where those VIP individuals were, the participants of the VIP. And 3 of them on that, I told them it was just 2 spots. 3 of them paid for the spots, 3 from there. Wow. One of them approached me and he said something to me. He said, "EMEKA, I've been to many places. I've been to things that I've been to so many sessions. There was something about your session, the authenticity, the value, because something about me that I decided on this journey is to just be as real as ever. I'm not the type that paints cracks on the walls. I've been authentic on my journey." And he said to me, "I'm owing you." I was like, "Owing me how? You paid fully for the event. So what is the owing for?" Guess what? This guy sent me 500,000 naira.
Yeah, I read it on your.
You read that?
Yeah. Yeah, he sent you 500. Yeah, I remember. And he said because he owes you.
Yeah. And when I saw it, I was like, "Guy, but you paid. What's the owing?" He said that was when he now explained to me these things I just shared with you. So when I shared with members of my staff, I told them, this thing that we're looking around, that we're seeing people say, Nigeria is too hard. Yeah, I understand the reality. Absolutely. A lot of individuals are feeling the pain. I'm not going to be so insensitive to the pains of many people in the nation. But I told them that even in this nation, there are individuals who are swimming in this thing. And they're like, yeah. And I said, until you begin to behave like them, except to walk in their circle, except to begin to think like them, they won't flow in your direction. And that's the truth. One of them in the class said to me, he came outside, he said to me, "EMEKA, I love what you're doing in the city of Port Harcourt. I want to tell you something. I attended an event in Lagos that cost me 5 million naira to attend."
Wow.
And he said to me, he attended an event that cost him 5 million naira. He said to me, "EMEKA, I want you to raise the bar next year." The bar could be picking people at the airport. It could be fixing them in hotels, whatever you're going to do. We want to be in the city and see the value that you bring forth.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So, except you begin to walk and think the possibility of these things happening, as you said, you begin to attract these individuals in your direction.
Yeah.
And I've started experiencing it. I've been experiencing it, and it's not an easy thing, actually, to tell you the truth, to begin to think in that dimension. But you've come to realize that thinking is just what it is. I think it's the same as breathing. So the moment you just inhale and exhale, it's basically the same thing. So why don't you exhale and exhale and just think it? Maybe thought, just think it. And then allow the thoughts to continue, as you said, marinating in your being, embodying your whole essence, your waking moments, and then they begin to gradually, flow into reality, bringing individuals, bringing circumstances, bringing situations that can make you to achieve that thing that you're looking for.
Yeah. And thank you for adding that. And I've also found that when you charge big, you need to be able to deliver big at luxury level. That's what I call it, an excellence level. For a long time, for many years, since I've been doing this, it's almost 20 years, I've been saying, no, I can't do this. They will have to pay for it. They won't pay for it. But I realized I was not offering. So when you were saying, so one of my coaches will offer something. She said, I'm going to be in the United States, and it is $5,000 to come and spend 3 days with me. We're going to use a limo to pick you up at the airport. We're going to lodge you in this hotel, 5-star hotel. We're going, so the $5,000 over 3 days is already speaking. You know why? Because she has to pay for the hotel. She has to pay the driver, the limo, the hire service, and then we'll also take you back. So I said, oh, that's true. That's what you are doing. And then you pay yourself because you know what you're going to do is at a level. I remember EMEKA NOBIS was one of them. I brought them together and I heard God say, take them to Dubai. I said, me. I said to Dubai, he said, how? With what money? How much is it going to be? So I actually hired somebody to go and check out how much hotels are. I paid her for that. I think it was $200 or so. I paid her for it. She went to check out. I said, I want top-notch hotels. I want swimming pools. I want rooms where we can go and chill because we're going to meditate. I said, I want phones, access to phones so that they can call people abroad. From there, I could see it. I can still see it. So I kept saying, yeah, do it till I start getting it together. Like, get all the big figures together, add it up, and then put it out there. Let me say this. Don't complain if you're in business and you charge for something and certain people say, oh, how much is too much, and they don't buy or they don't pay. It's because those are the wrong clients. The right clients will sit and pay. They won't argue. They won't say what if. That means many of us talk to the people that are not ready for this because we are afraid if we charge much higher and we advertise it to these same people who cannot pay, they will not pay. But like EMEKA said, there are some people who are thinking at that level, like the guy that said, okay, I've paid in full 200K. Now I owe you. This is another 700K for what? He didn't charge 700, charge 200. He paid in full. And so it's the way you are thinking. This is what I'm doing. I didn't sit him down and coach when it was a post. I said, you need to increase this. I said, you need to increase this. That it was just a post. I remember once when we met in 2018, when I did my first How to Think event here live, and you came here as we were ending. I remember talking with you, and there's this expression on your face like, I should increase it. That was 2018. I said yeah, because what you do is amazing. And I've decided the same thing. It's not everybody that will pay. But then decide the level of people, the caliber of people you are talking to, and also what you are going to deliver. It must be at luxury and excellence level. You know, excellence does not have a level. It's one level, excellence. Just one level. So I will still take you to Dubai. It's still going to happen.
That was before the issues the Nigerians have with Dubai.
But they say they are talking with them now. They are coming to an agreement now. Yeah. Okay. Because I realized that, but we'll still do it. We'll still do it. So I want you to please begin to put your questions in the chat. I want you to talk about intentionality. So just before you talk about it, I want to read the dictionary from Google meaning of when somebody makes an intention. Okay, they have intention. Intention means, or intentional is telling me Intentional. Okay. When somebody's intentional, it means done on purpose. It means to be deliberate. Something is done on purpose. That's I moved this pen from here to here on purpose because I was going to put another pen here.
Yeah.
Done on purpose and done on purpose and deliberate. Deliberate.
Exactly.
How is your thinking related to intentionality, to being intentional? Because that's a word that's bandied about all over the place.
So let me share with you, because I like to sorry. I like to use my real life examples to share. All right. So I run a business, and my desire for that business is to have results in the business, to have profitability in the business. It means that if I am going to be profitable in business, it means that there are certain things that I need to arrange in a certain procedural manner to be able to achieve that particular result. They are not left to be haphazard, because you will not get results by being haphazard in your approach. A simple thing that I do consistently every day is to ask myself for tomorrow to be productive, not even today, because I mean, personally, I don't do this is me. Anybody can argue that, but this is how EMEKA NOBIS functions. I don't think in 1 year. I don't think in 2 years. I don't think in 3 years, basically. I like to think in short forms. I mean, in short phases, because it gives me the energy to achieve, basically. That is me, all right? I can have a 1 year goal. For example, I've said to myself, by my 45th birthday, I'm going to launch 5 books or 6 books. That's a 1 year goal. But then there are things that I need to be doing in the short term and in the short phase to be able to achieve. Now, when I'm leaving the office, or before leaving the office, I say to myself, what am I going to do tomorrow to achieve certain results that can make the profitability happen? Guess what? If you go to my table right now in my office, because I tell the people who clean the office, do not always touch my table. Allow my table to be the way it is, because I have dropped thoughts and written formats on my desk. If you move anything around, when I come tomorrow, you are going to make me have an elongated period of, rearranging my thoughts again to move the way I wanted it to move. So I've arranged things on my table. I've written down the things that I have to do, and it doesn't necessarily need to be big stuff. Who will you send it? Like if you go to I have my pen, and then my jotter that I usually use is there open. My laptop is there closed, but it's just in front of my laptop, my closed laptop, just there open. It not closed, open with my pen on top of that diary, small diary that I usually carry around, right? And then there you see, send an email to this, send an email to this, call this person, put these people, remind these individuals about their sessions, reminding, just like that, everything written. So when I arrive at the office tomorrow, I now begin to take those things one after the other and make sure that I get to do them. Will I achieve all of them? Sometimes, no. But usually I applaud myself that if I've done 70% or 50% or even 80%, I'm good to go. So it is packed with a purpose. There's as you said, a purpose behind it, and then it is intentional. It is deliberate. It is not left to anyhowness. So when I get to the office, I know that I'm not just getting to the office and in my head I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, there could be some disruptions that can happen. Maybe an emergency or a call, or maybe my brother will call me concerning our real estate company, and then I have to answer. But at least I have a sequence of activities that I need to follow to be able to make sure that the business is getting certain inputs that can lead to the results that we're looking for, which is profitability. So that's basically, and if you see this can happen to every other aspect of your life, in your relationship, what do you ought to do? How do you have to speak to your spouse? How do you have to arrange the house? How do you have to, in driving your car, the same thing. People don't just enter cars and just drive like that. It has to be a sequence when you wake up in the morning. It's just to tell you that if you don't follow the sequence, something ugly may happen. That's what it is, basically. So we need to live life based on this. Intentionality is just the way that it is basically for me. All right. So that's how I use these simple scenarios to be able to just live life with intention and keep getting the results that I'm getting, right? That's what it is.
So he has a routine. I do this,
Yeah.
then I do this,
Yes.
then I do
Yes.
this. It's like building a house. You can't just start from the roof, then decide that you want to put a door. Then
Absolutely.
you have to have
Absolutely.
a routine. You have to have a way it's done, a sequence.
Let me share it with you. People see me on social media and they think, okay, how does he get the results he gets? There are simple, small steps you take. When I wake up in the morning and after maybe with my kids and all that, I have my I have my toilet time, which is something that
where your ideas come.
People have showed me the pictures of videos of a pro doctor not sitting on the toilet seat, blah blah blah. I don't know how to stop it really. So when I'm in that place, in that white enclave, as they say, the ideas come, and it's while I'm even there that I can post like 5 pieces of content. My thinking is, people should not wake up without wanting to consume something from EMEKA NOBIS. So before I do what we call mindless scrolling, reading and just scrolling and getting caught up with certain things that will take away my time, I have done my content for the day so for that morning, so that individuals, as they're waking up and are getting on their phone and doing some of the things, or maybe on their way to work and all that, they have read something valuable from EMEKA NOBIS. And that's how I do it basically every day. It's purposeful. It has to be done with intention, and it's deliberate, basically. So that's how I just share simple little things that you do that aggregate and become, they build up to a momentum. That's what it is, basically.
Okay. So there's a routine, there's a system, and he follows his own routine. I have been very guilty of starting a routine and stopping. Oh, I can't do it. I can't be bothered. Somebody has asked, there are 2 questions. How can I start out in my vision? If you were here on day 1, I've already apologized to, so just take the apology. It's a wide question, so we should be saying, what's your vision? Describe it well. But how do you start out with anything? He has said it now. If you've been following EMEKA NOBIS, he has said it. You can answer this question. You can answer it for yourself in your toilet, in your bedroom. If you're walking down the road, you can answer it. Start.
So let me
Go ahead.
Sorry, let me give you a little bit of example. I like to give examples. This person starting as a vision. So people who follow me on my timeline understand the fact that I'm always kicking against idiotic religious dogmas and doctrines. People who follow me know that, and I've gotten a lot of flack for that, and I don't really care.
Absolutely.
Because as long as individuals are becoming transformed, and that's joy.
Yeah.
So when I get flack from these individuals, I don't really give a damn about them. And so this young guy approached me and said to me that he has a vision to be a pastor. And he told me this is what he wanted to do. He said he wanted to really go to school. And I said, fantastic. And I told him there are a lot of individuals who feel that they are called, but they are very unintelligent. Right? In our time, people just feel like the call of God is just the only requisite that you need to be able to jump on the altar and say all the things you want to say. No. There's a way to say certain things. You have to have emotional intelligence to be able to deal with your flock. And these are some of the things that you have to be able to learn. They may not be in the Bible. They may not be expressly written in the Bible, but you go through disciplines that have been established that can help you to become that kind of individual. And he said he wants to go to school and that he doesn't want to be an unintelligent pastor. He wants to be one that I said, that's fantastic. So I told him, I listed out the things that when he's done, because he said he wants to go to university first. I said, fantastic. Go to university. It doesn't mean that while you're in university, you can become formed. You can even participate in the fellowships. You can participate in brotherhood meetings, whatever. And then you are forming yourself. You become, because I think the guy's about 16 years old or something.
Oh,
and you're
wow.
forming yourself, all right, to become that great, intelligent, and useful pastor of the flock in the future. So I told him, okay, go to school. And I told him, when you are done, if you can enroll into a seminary, it will be nice. And I told him seminary is not necessary for the Catholics or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's place where it's dedicated, where you stay off and you learn. So I told him, learn about hermeneutics, learn about theology of God, learn about Christian apologetics. The moment you do these things and you learn these things, trust me, you will be a great all-rounded individual. Now, this is a guy that has a vision, and there is a vision ahead of him, but then he has itemized what he needs to do to be achieved, to be able to achieve that vision. Going to school, and I added going to seminary. Simple. So for you, you know, starting out with your vision, the vision is a bold declaration, something that is yet to happen in the future, so to say, if you look at it from that context. But there are certain things you need to put down to be able to, all right, to do that. For example, I'll give you a specific example. So while my wife is here in the hotel, she had a session with Chichiro. The essence is to understand you want to win a grant for your business, but there is a way. The winning a grant could be the vision, right? To win grants, to be able to improve on the business, expand the business. That's the vision for the future. The grant, has it come? No, it's in the future. And so what do you need to do to be able to get there? You have to be able to take certain steps. So now they look at the structure of our business, our books, everything. These are the things that have to be looked at before you start even talking about applying for the grant itself. So you've got to be able to itemize, what should I do to be able to get to that grand reality that is just ahead in the future? That's what it is, basically, taking that steps. And then the key thing is to go ahead to do. Because if you don't do, you cannot get the reality. It doesn't really work like that. You know, if you like, pray from now to tomorrow. God has his role, you've got your role. Your role is to do the doing, all right? So if you're going to wake up in the morning and step out on the streets, you've got to do it. You're going to wake up in the morning and go to the office, you've got to do it. If you're going to wake up in the morning and it means cutting grass, you've got to cut the grass. So it's in the doing that you can be able to achieve that reality that is wrapped in the vision that is just ahead of you.
And how is that related to thinking?
Yeah, so the thinking has to beget doing. All right. So you are thinking, as I told you now. Remember, I made a post and I said I put out a picture of the kind of studio that I want to have. Now, only putting that picture there is crystallized thoughts. All right. So the picture is in my head, and I'm constantly waking up in the morning. Oh, this studio. Oh, this is how I want the studio to be. Oh, it's like the thoughts are constantly pummeling my mind, my head, my heart, everything about me, constantly. And those thoughts are the things that I'm dwelling upon to be able to take the steps to be. So what do I do now to achieve, to get that? Okay, this is what I have to get. I have to speak to this individual. I have to find this location. I have to ask about the equipment. How would the money come? Just like that. So those thoughts are the things that I'm dwelling constantly upon as I'm taking the steps to get the crystallized form of the thoughts that are in my head. That's what it is, basically. The vision that we are talking about, Seth, the vision that we're talking about is not something you can hold now.
Yes.
Who has ever held vision? Have you ever held, this is my phone.
Yeah.
I'm holding my phone now. Have you ever held physically a vision? Have you? I don't know if anybody, if you have done it, maybe you have, but if you have, you have not done it before. So you find out that the vision that people are thinking is also a thought that is hanging.
That is another one. Yeah.
The front.
Yeah.
Sometimes those thoughts are put in form of words and they are just on the wall, so to say, but they are not, you can't comprehend them like physically hold them. So it's thoughts that are crystallized that sometimes, but they are constantly pummeling. I use the word pummeling. You know what I mean by pummeling?
Knocking
boxing,
at you.
Boxing you, you know, all the time to make you understand, hey, these are the thoughts you ought to be thinking, you know, boom, 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 they are hitting you. This is what, you know, and it constantly envelopes your being. And then you begin to take those steps to be able to achieve it. So that's what it is.
And it comes to me, how would you not be discouraged along the way? It's practice. You know, when you start running or you start cooking, you start doing anything, you are ugly at it at the beginning, you are messing up. You learned something yesterday, you do it today, you forgot one other bit, it's still bad. But the more you keep doing it, you get better at it. The same with the same with thoughts. You are training your neurons. Like you keep hearing it. You are creating new neural pathways. So your brain and your neurons, all the little things, because you know your brain is neuroplastic. So it changes dependent on how you change your thinking. So it's fitting into what you are thinking. So it's not like, oh, every time I do this, I always go back to be thinking negatively. I'm really doing what you said, but I always go back. That's because that's what you have trained your brain to do. Now you are retraining it. So
yeah,
it takes a while, a day at a time. But one thing I do is I like to achieve things quickly. So if you want it to happen quickly, add that to your meditation, to your thinking, and you are coming quickly. You have happened quickly. I'm not waiting 1 year, 5 years, 6 months, 12 weeks. Now, I want it now. You know why you can say that? Because you are incapable of thinking of what does not already exist. If it does not exist, you cannot have a vision of it. You cannot have the imagination of it. It's totally impossible. It already exists. If it did not exist, you will not be looking for it. If it did not exist, Emeka will not be saying, okay, so I need to talk to people about equipment, about the area, about what kind of room. It already exists somewhere. He just has not seen it, but with his physical eyes. But he's like we did the feather and the books, but he can bring that thought, can materialize. But if he's thinking, me, okay, let me not just go and waste my money, because let me just look for one room in one house, or one room, you know, the complex has one little room somewhere. I can just, if he brings his thoughts down, I was so guilty of that. I'll go high, then I'll just bring it up, boom, just stop where I am. It's okay, let me just do this small thing, and I'll be getting upset that it is small. Because what you think about, you bring about. So in the midst of all Mr. Nobis has said to answer that question, I think it was Opeyemi Davids that sent that question. Remember, it starts with a thought. You create your vision by with invisibility. God will help me to be able to describe these things well, because the things we can't see, supernatural things, spiritual things, you can't touch them, you can't feel them. This is physical, but it is the spiritual that creates the natural, the physical. It is the invisible that creates the visible. Do you understand? Because the visible is temporary. If I throw this bottle of water away, that's it. But I can't throw it away in my imagination. I can create another bottle of water without hustling for it. It will appear. If you believe that it's a law that keeps flowing, it will happen for you. You will get what you believe. You will not get what you don't believe. If you believe I do work, it's only for Coach Kemio, you will not get it. Because as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So if the man thinks I will not get it, the man will not get it. If the woman thinks she will get it, she will get it. Do you understand? So the second question is, sir, please, have you had times when you could not meet up?
Yeah, I don't know if the guy is asking the question with regards to my to-do list. Yeah, there are times, of course, definitely, as I told you, there could be interruptions, there could be disruptions. Like, for example, today at the office, and they called everybody in the complex to that meeting. I never expected it to happen. And somehow when I heard the news, it sort of dampened my zeal in a way, because these are interruptions now. Instead of me thinking of what I'm supposed to do for the month of July and June and August, I'm now thinking of how I'm going to get a new office. You get? So interruptions can happen. It's something that can happen with life. So I can have all my to-do lists, written down and packed with intention and being deliberate about it. But then certain times we may not be able to meet up. I can say it's life. Sometimes I just it to your father's life. But does that mean you should beat yourself? And because this is something that I've actually helped some individuals to overcome. When they don't meet up certain things, they are depressed. They're feeling like they have. I'm like, no, beat yourself in the chest that even if today you didn't meet up everything, tomorrow is another day, right? And then you go at it again. If you had given 50% today, you can decide to give tomorrow 120%. You can lock up your doors and just focus and get that thing done. So yeah, there are times, I'm a human being, for God's sake. There are times that, the things I've set out to do on a daily basis, I didn't really finish them. But I don't find myself going into depression because I didn't finish them. If I had taken 2 steps or 3 steps, I've done something remarkable to be able to get to my desired destination. That's what it is, basically.
And me that I'm doing turning 60, there was a period of time as I got closer to 60, hey, I was looking at myself. Hey, what have you done? What have you achieved? You haven't done anything. You don't have this, you don't have that, you don't own this, you don't own that. What have you done? You live abroad, nothing to show for it. You get here, nothing to show. What have you done? And I was digging a hole, and the hole was getting bigger and bigger, and I was going deeper and deeper. If I didn't say so, you will not believe it. But I'm telling you my own thinking. Till I got to a point, I said, hey, wait a minute. I said, wait. As a woman thinks in her heart, so is she. Is this where I want to go? Is this who I want to be? Does that mean I cannot achieve anymore? It was like maybe last month, shortly after my mom died. It just clicked. I said, wait, I still have time. I am alive. I'm breathing. Dr. Naomi said it. I am here. This is my story. I can still write it. I am still here. So let's write. You have stuff to say. Use your gift. You can talk. You talk too much sometimes. Talk. Teach somebody. Leave something behind. Do it for free. Invite other people to support you. Get it done. Just do something. So I thought it. I thought, I don't know how to do it. So I spoke with Namdi and he says, let's do this. And I thought, nice, but I don't know how to plan it. And he pulled things together in less than a week. We were ready to go.
Okay, guys, can you hear me? Maybe
we can hear you, but your picture is frozen. Your video is frozen, but we can hear your voice. Okay, I don't think he heard that.
I saw.
Okay, did you hear that?
Okay, my
video, your video was frozen, but we heard you.
Oh, okay, mine. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry, it was yours that was frozen at my end. I don't know why.
Okay.
All right, ma. Welcome. Sorry.
Jonathan, why are you asking for AI companion?
AI what?
He's put something on the screen. We'll send the meeting summary to invitees after the meeting ends. Configured for this meeting. By clicking enable, the web setting for this feature will be enabled for your account, and the feature will be turned on for this meeting and available for hosts to turn on in future meetings. You can change this setting, not now because I really don't understand what that is. I've got to settle down and read it and understand it because I have people here. I can't just get AI to be saying stuff without taking their permission. I know AI is going to do something, but I just saw the summary setting and felt that would be nice to distill everything into a written summary. Is that what it does, Jonathan? Okay, do it again, and then Namdi, we're going to say yes. Click on it again, and then we shall say enable, and then let's see what. Okay, so let's see what it does. Click it again, please. Let's see come up, and okay, thank you. Namdi, I'm clicking enable. Oh. Okay, Namdi is not there.
No problem. It doesn't turn off our recording, which is like most important.
Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you, Jonathan. We learn every day.
I saw Victor Obasi enter.
Yes, so did I. Chief Tribes Master is with us tomorrow, by God's grace. So this turning 60 is more than I thought it would be. But every day I've sat down to meditate on how I want it to be. I'm not interested in numbers. Oh, and we only had 15, we only had 25. Not really relevant to me. All I see is that some people, not many, I don't see many, some people will take what we are talking about and go and sit down like a voodoo man, a juju man, a tarot card, call them whatever, and lean into the power of God that's in them. Their invincibility. They will start there. Then they will take what EMEKA NOBIS said. They will take what John said. They will take what Naomi said. They will take what Dr. Atiba said. And they will think it through. They will see what they want. They will see it in technicolor detail. They will see it with energy, with strength. They will not be playing, well, maybe we just come, let's see. Let's just see what will happen. No, we are not playing. Then they will arise. Look, they say, what's this? That you will soar like there's something, like the phoenix. You will go beyond the phoenix. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see. Where you are coming back with, I took my time and I sat with this thing day 1, day 2, day 3, and suddenly, I knew what to do. I stepped out. I talked to this one person, and this person has been in my backyard for the last 5 years, and I did not know. Please, ma, what kind of thinking process can I maintain to be exceptional in my areas of niches? Teaching kids how to read, write, develop positive morals, emotional and spiritual intelligence, train parents on how to raise well-behaved children without yelling and losing their sanity, teenagers, parents, relationships, marriage, and family coach. Like, is this a man or a woman? Okay, it looks like it's a woman. Woo! You put everything in there. You didn't leave anything out. Okay, so there are no Emeka, did you want to answer that? There are no special answers. Oh. There are no magic answers.
I think everything we've been having conversation has answered that particular question basically. But I want to add the fact that if you are going to be the one that will execute all the things you've written, then you have to start thinking that you're the one. Basically, I usually tell individuals, think like you are God that provides solutions, right, to people's issues. I tell them it's difficult to embody sometimes or to accept, because some individuals would start to say that, Emeka, you are becoming antichrist, so to say. But when you begin to have that thing that you're thinking that I am the way, the truth, and the life, I tell them, I am the way, the truth, and the life. It's not necessarily about you being Jesus. So when it comes to this thing that you want to do for the world, you are the way. When it comes to this thing about the kids and the parents and whoever you want to touch the life, you are the truth. When it comes to, so you're the truth, the way, and the life, right? And people come to you to be able to get the result that they're seeking. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you can embody that and have it, that's why every day I wake up, I am the EMEKA NOBIS. You get what I mean? I am the EMEKA NOBIS and the truth and the way, the life. People will come through me to understand marketing. People will come through me to understand how to market books. People come through me to understand how to be thought leader. People come through me. So that thought that you have will help you to wake up and be bold and be consensus and be. I mean, that's why when I say certain things on social media, people are like, who gave you the audacity and the authority? But that authority and audacity is predicated upon the fact that that's how my thinking is, that I'm the truth, the way, and the life. Well, if you feel that I have become Antichrist, it's okay, it's fine, but this is what guides me. And it's just okay, whatever people think.
So it's up to you what you think. The Bible says that ye are gods. If you look up the meaning of that word God, it means Elohim. If you look up the meaning of the word God in Genesis, and God created, Genesis 1:1, it is Elohim. You are not separate from God. That's not how we've been taught in church. So we are afraid when somebody says, hey, no, but look at your life now. Look at your life. I mean, that should say something to you. Look at your life. Is this how it should be? Is this what abundance is? Is this abundance? When you think, do you think abundantly? Or you just bring it in and say, I live in Shomolu. I don't live in Lekki. And also, please, let's blow something out of the water. Please. Let me put it this way. Wherever you live is because you have chosen to live there, not because of the amount of money in your pocket. If you live in Morocco and you want to live in Lekki or Aja or Banana Island or Victoria Island or Ikoyi or Bagada, wherever it is you feel is highbrow, you can. The problem is you don't believe it. And you can only get what you believe. Your beliefs are a function of your thoughts. You get information and then you think on it and it becomes your belief. So I say to you, the water in here is poisonous. Some people will believe it. They say, why hasn't she died? I added something to it when I took it off camera. And so it's poisonous. Some people, so if they come in, I say, drink this water. Then you say it's poisonous or not. Other people will drink it. It's a lie, it's not poisonous. It's your belief. It's up to you. You will think, it's true. This woman, she probably put something in it. Somebody says it's a lie. I can't you see it's not? And you will die, and they drink it, and that's it. And nothing happens to them. It's your belief. Because I used to be that woman. Whatever you ask, desire, when you pray, believe you have received, and you receive. I want you to think about that. It's nice to quote. Look at your life now. Look at your life. Are you doing this? We can quote, oh, are you doing this? Have you thought it through? In simple terms, pray, believe you have received. I argued with that for 10 or 20 years. How can I believe I have received 24 bottles of water that is not in my house? For crying out loud. How can I believe I've received what? If you are thinking, you will ask that question. I said, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to believe I have received what I am not seeing. What I cannot touch and hold and point to somebody. I said, do you see my 24 bottles of water? I believe I've received. Because I thought God was talking physically, materially. I thought, you call the Bible a spiritual book, but then you're trying to interpret it naturally. You can't. You're a spirit. So when odd things happen to you, or you fall ill, or people say, you stress, you can't hold stress in your hand. You can't hold it, but your body will fall sick. Your mentality will not be working right. And then the doctors will test with their machines and say, oh, this is too high. That signifies stress. This is too high. But can you hold it? You can't. It's stress. You can't hold it. So it's your mentality that has created that state in your body. And you feel like you feel. You don't have to believe it. That's the problem. Our belief. People didn't believe when Jesus healed. And they didn't believe it. But one woman came. She said, I've been hearing about this guy. She didn't touch his body. She touched his clothes. They didn't tell her, if you touch his clothes, oh, you'll be well. She touched his clothes. It was her belief. People who gather together in the night and they say they're going to steal. They know somebody might catch them. They know they might die. But they gather together, they plan, and they go and steal. Those of us that are still thinking well, we are thinking good things to go and do good things. We don't believe that we will make it. So we don't even think further. We don't plan to do that good. We just stop. What if it doesn't work? The one that's doing the bad thing, he plans to do it. He plans to succeed at it. You won't. I wrote it one day. I said, how thieves, I have it on my YouTube channel, how thieves succeed. Just follow the system. You will succeed. They believe it implicitly that we are going to kill this person. We are going to put some spikes on the road. We're going to stop them. We're going to shoot. We're going to take all their money and all their bags and we are running into the bush. They plan it. You'll be here. You'll be here. They do it and they get away with it. You start something good. You stop your thinking, but it's not going to work. Then when thieves, these thieves, how did they do it? They stuck to the principle and they followed through with it. They know they might die, they know they might go to jail, but they are doing it. You too, get up. It's a principle, it will work. Keep going at it. Be persistent. What do you want? That's all you think on. Don't go and be blabbing it to anybody. Just stick with it. This is where I'm going. This is what I want. This is where I'm going. This is what I want. Why are you going to move from a slap me, I slap you to a 2-bedroom house? Why are you doing that? Why would you want to do that? You have 5 children and you want to go to a 2-bedroom. Why? Is it you they wrote poverty on his head or her head? Why 2-bedroom house? You move from Morocco to Shomolu. Why? What happened to the highbrow areas? It's you. They wrote it on your head. Only the EMEKA Nobises can move there. Only the John Obidis. Only stop it. Stop. Giving people, making people kings and making yourself I'm going to serve them. Anywhere they are talking, I will follow them. Have you become like them? What are they doing that you are not doing? Have you become like them? What are you doing? And then you say, you'll be raising God, holy hands. You go to church, you go to the same conference every year. You are doing the 21-day thing, and your life is still the same. Aren't you tired? Aren't you fed up? Aren't you sick of being a victim of the economy when you have God? He created the heavens and the earth. You are meant to create the same thing. Do as he did. It's not in your power to do it, but it's in the power of your imagination, the power of your thinking to do it. Get up. Talk to yourself. Pick yourself. Get up. Get it done. Pick yourself. I have to. Get it done. It's the way I'm thinking. I'm knitting a shirt for one of my grandchildren, and I enjoy knitting. I haven't knitted in maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years. So I enjoy knitting, and okay. But I need to finish editing the book I want to give you guys. Oh, 100. I still have to do this. I said, stop it. Put the knitting away. And I opened the document. I started doing it. That's how you win. That's how you behave like a god. What if goes out? All these people that we created, they're just messing up. I'm not doing again. You and I will not be here. We won't be here. He told Noah, go and tell a flood is coming. Only Noah and his family entered. We will be looking at, is anybody else coming? I'm not going, no. If nobody else is coming. What if we die on that ark? Well, is it only Noah that can hear God? We too, we shall hear God. And the Bible says it clearly. Like in the days of Noah, in the last days, they'll be given in marriage, dancing, and all that, and they will perish. Because they didn't listen. Don't be one of them. Show up with your full chest and say, this is where I am going. This is what I was created to do. The way I'm thinking is taking me there. You follow? You don't follow? I'm sorry. I cannot live this life without finishing. There is a way to think about these things and make it your reality. I'm telling you, when 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, just let's start with 1, and we are blasting on all cylinders, and things are just happening for you. That will become your reality. That when you start from the invisible, because it is the invisible that creates the visible. Don't you see? But we are starting from the visible. Believe you have received means in your imagination. What is faith? Can you hold it? Faith is substance. It says when you believe something, when you have faith, belief and faith are the same word. When you have faith, that faith you have is the substance of what you are hoping for. Those 24 bottles of water, yep, to little things and watch them happen. Now, beware that when you start to think, don't think small, oh. Sorry, don't think, because a mistake I started making from the get-go was, oh yeah, I want this thing, but I'll give you an example. Then I was in the UK and I needed money. It was April. I said, God, can I have £1,000 by August? Y'all do it. Tell us y'all do it. And I just heard his voice say, oh, you are giving me time to gather £1,000 for you. So it's going to take me April, May, June, July. I need 5 months. I said, no. But it was me. It was me that was thinking that way. So you ask God for something, then you engage your stinking thinking, your human thinking. I say, well, I want $1 billion by Saturday, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that means, that doesn't make sense. I can't get $1 billion. You go into rational human thinking. That doesn't make sense. I cannot make it. You know, have you? And then people will come and ask you, have you ever made $1,000 in one day? You want to make $1 billion? I used to listen to that nonsense. Yeah, because they are talking at the level of their humanity, not at the level of their divinity. So you are saying God can't do it. You're saying the power that's in you cannot. So you immediately stop it, because that's what you are saying. It's not possible. So you ask small because you think God needs time, or the power of God in you needs time for it to be achieved. It's about time some of us rise. There are Green Berets, there are the elite forces, there are the SAS. They are not the same people. The people that go into all these places to extract prisoners, they are not the same. The level at which they train them is different. What kind of soldier are you? Are you the kind that, okay, we shall just play with the civilians? But are you the kind that can go underwater, that can go into dark places? He says that I will give you the treasures hidden in darkness, hidden riches in dark places. hidden riches in secret places. He said he will give them to you. He didn't say you will seek them. You will search for them. You will beg. You will scream. You will pray. He said, I will give it to you. He says, I will loose the loins of kings for your sake. You know what the loins are? Where their emotions are, where they make decisions. Are we going to let Kemi come into this country or not? Are we going to let Kemi become the commissioner of this or not? Are we going to let Kemi build this? He will loosen their loins where they will not be able to control. Just say yes, yes, yes. He knows where the treasures are in secret places. He knows where the riches are in dark places. You don't know now. He said, we give them to you. So you just stay expectant. Stay in that place. Remember, you have to be vibrating at your thoughts cause a vibration, a chemical reaction in your body. So it has to be the same. It's like tuning a radio. You have to be at the right frequency to hear what they are doing in that channel, to get what the Holy Ghost has promised you, not going to give you, promised you. You know, he doesn't break his promises. They are yea, they are amen. They are yes, and they are so be it. Not soon to be, soon to come. I need you to think, please. I need you to think. A couple of people have said a few things. I'll read them. We are good to go, except anybody has questions. Thank you so much. I need to do. Oh, thank you, my dear sister. Exactly. First, you need to know who you are, your powers and potential you have, and your connection with God as the all-powerful to do all things. Correct, correct, correct. All right, I'm going to end it with something for men. Let me say it here. Something about relationships for men. Because we've been talking to the women, Abby. Let's do the men today. I hope it does speak. I hope it's, no, I don't need that. Yeah, okay, here we go. So it's something else I wrote, but this was not February, this 2018, this was 2022. And I actually didn't remember that I wrote this, but it's about relationships. So let me get to it. And this time I'm going to be saying, please, you are dear men, please help us now. All right, there we go. So this one was in November, not November. I do not remember what, December 2022. No, it's not this one. Oh, no. No, this is about me. Wow, this is long. Phew. November 2022. So this is what I wrote. I will be running into you for the rest of our lives together. This is me writing this to my future husband. Nothing will I hide from you unless it is a surprise. You see, sweetheart, I will need a cushion. I will need you to shield me. So please, guys, listen, if you are husbands, I will need you to shield me. And even if you are not husbands, when my heart holds pain and threatens to prick me to death, the death of staying away from you by keeping it to myself. I know I may say it all inelegantly and probably scream and shout at you rather than speak gently and lovingly. But that is why I have come running into you, my arms spread wide apart as I approach you and closing tightly around you as I lean hard into you, as if to get the answers and solutions I desire by transfer from your heart to mine. It is where God has put you as a cover for me. It is where our oneness is most displayed. It is where in our marriage I am safest, not in your arms alone, but in your beautiful heart too. If ever I walk away from you and not into you, please pull me back. Please. Do not be elegant about it, for at that time, it is a matter of life and death, the life of our union or the death of it. And it is but a moment. So please catch me as I fall right at that moment. You see, the minute I do not talk to you, be open, be vulnerable, be naked and be unashamed before you, it is the first opening to all kinds, shapes, and colors of the enemy, both spiritual and human, to set us apart, tear us away from the beauty and sacredness of marriage, separate from us and kill the us that God has ordained. You cannot allow that. We cannot allow that. I cannot allow that. Take me to bed. Slowly, slowly make love to me. Remind me that all we have got is all God has ordained, and it is established no matter what. Why? Why should you speak to me this way? Why not just tell me the same with words alone? Because we both know the know of sex, love making, of koinonia, and intermingling of intimacies that is total. A communion that not even the whisper of another can separate. Our naked bodies touching, speaking to one another. Your hands moving slowly over my body, titillating me to exhilaration while I am adoring your body, your soul, your spirit, with whispers of intense love, born of a God who has loved us the same, leaving us an example to follow, and responding to you with a depth of agreement that only my heart can articulate and all your heart can hear and understand, with profound bursts of my King, my Lord, from the depths of my heart to the depths of yours. Oh, how I love you, dear future husband. You are my safest place because you remain in the safest place in Christ. Please remember, if I forget, when issues arise in our hearts, we run into one another, not away from each other. Dear future husband, I have loved you long time. I look forward to running into you for the rest of our lives. So that's me speaking to the dear future husband, the guy. How sweet. Father. Dr. Alfred. See, gentlemen, you need to take care of us. For the life of me, we can be really silly. We women, your wives, we can be really silly. And unlike you, who knows that you are being silly or you're acting like the fool and whatever, we don't get it. We don't get it as quickly as you guys do. So you need to be patient. No other man will be patient with your wife like you. She does not expect it from anybody else. If her brother is more patient with her than you, there are issues. If her father is more patient with her than you, there are issues. Just wait for us. You see, a woman is made to serve, to give. We nurture inside, we carry the baby and all that. That's how we are wired. We can't do any less. When you see a woman, she's not being who she is. There's a cover, there's a pain she's covering up. But that's how we are. We'll just flow. We'll just be, okay, they go. I hear you, they go. Thank you. You know, he came on his wife's birthday. So Mr. Nobis has to go. Bye, go to her. Thank you so much for being here. So just be patient. Except you have something to say, okay. Just be patient with your woman. Don't expect somebody else to be. When you're blowing her away, throwing her to pieces, it's like holding a dolly and just swinging the dolly out. When a husband does that to his wife, that's how I feel. Oh. It's like you just take me and powerless. You're just flinging me about with your words, with your lack of patience, with your shutting me out, with your raised voice. All those things just mess me up. I'm just, and we can't handle it. We are mashed up. We say, we don't know why you're doing this. We probably shout, probably scream. Look, you are the example. You are the church. You are the Jesus to the church. So you are the Jesus to your wife. Your wife is the church. You are the Jesus. So please be that. I'm not saying it's a walk in the park. I'm not saying it's easy. And life is not easy. So let's stop saying it's not easy. It's not. What does that mean? Does that mean it's impossible? Just wait for her. If you reel her in gently, a woman always responds to love. And love never fails. Even if she turns her back, she goes to another guy, it will never fail. It's a law. You keep loving, it will not fail. One day, she's going, this man is not even angry. This man has not stopped. I don't cook, he will go and cook. I talk to him anyhow. Sometimes you keep quiet, sometimes he will answer me. I can say he's angry, but he's not saying anything. Just wait for her. Reel her in. Remember how God reeled you in. Reel her in. She is fragile. She is gentle. Please be gentle. I'm done. Does anyone have any questions? We're good to go. Namdi, do you want to bring it to a halt? He's still here. Oh, good man.
Yeah, I'm still here. Thank you again, Coach Kemi. I think Mr. Emeka has gone.
Yes, he said he had to go. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much. That was amazing. It's normal for me collecting fire day by day. It's people that are just getting it for the first time.
Stop it.
I've come to collect my daily dose of fire. So it's been an amazing time. Thank you so much for taking out your time. Thanks to Mr. Emeka. I think we're expecting Dr. Pam or Mrs. Pam.
We were, but since she didn't respond for the last 2 days, I even today, it's all good.
Okay.
I'll talk with her later.
Thank you so much, guys, for showing. If you took a step to show up here, you are taking your life serious. That's the first step of thinking. For I've seen some of you show up day 1, day 2, day 3. That's the first step. But make sure you take action. There's nothing as important as taking action, right? Some of the things you've heard here, they're very scary. They sound weird. They're not orthodox. They're not the things that we're used to. Right, but just get used to them. Sit down on your own sometimes. Like I think Coach Kemi, this was on day 1. I was telling you that there are some issues that we all have in life. It's so much. Just sleep. My mentor used to say, if the problem is bigger than you, find your pillow and sleep. When you wake up, you have more clarity. A friend was talking to me just before the meeting started, and it's like, oh, Obi, I've got some bills in the millions to pay tomorrow. I'm saying, why are you bothered? He's like, he does not understand. I'm like, bill God, give God the invoice. God, me now, I don't stress about anything. I don't stress. It's not like I don't have problems or I don't have things that bother me or I don't know what to do with money. No, but I just give God the invoice. I'll be like, God will see you. This money, it's your business. If your business crash, your own business. If anything you have given me, my own is I'm just your manager. I work for you. It's as simple as that. So we need money to push stuff. We need this to do stuff. It's like nobody in a company goes to their CEO and tries to solve the problem for the CEO. If you've been assigned management of a multinational company, you are a manager. Your job is to ask, what's the budget? How much are we spending? Oh, we don't have enough money. Your job is to send plans to the head office. Oh, this is what we want to do. This is where they will not approve or reject what you want to do. So it's like that with God. But most times we think that what God has asked us to do, we are the ones supposed to handle it. It's his company. The company he gave you today is his own. The job he gave you, his own. The husband he gave you, his own. The children, his own. Your job is, okay, manager, now you have given me this company now. Thank you for this position. We need 500,000 to fund so and so. We have sent the bill to you. And when you send the bill to your manager, your mind is not, where will I get money? I've never seen it happen that a manager will send something to the CEO and then say, how will I now sort it? It doesn't work like that. When you send the bill to your manager, to your boss or to your CEO, what you're saying is, oh, sir, when should I come back for this thing? Your boss is like, okay, I'll reach back to you, right? I'll reach back to you. And then you just go to your office and continue your work as if nothing happened. Then the secretary will come in and say, okay, a mail just came in from the head office. You guys have been awarded 500 million to push so campaign and all of that. And you take the money and do the business. It is God's work. I was saying something very personal to Coach Kemi a couple of days ago. And I'm saying this as a Christian, right? There are a lot of things that people don't really agree with. And I was saying something that we spend so much time on arguing on so many laws and principles and doctrines and all of that, there's an idea that came up in my mind. I heard my mentor say it a couple of times. He says, when it comes to the issue of tithing, 100% is God's money. Everything is God's money. God said, give me 10. Instead of complaining, why should I give God 10? Ask him, what do I use the 90 for? How does the 90 in my hand become multiplied? How does the 90 in my hand open up? You cannot keep going to God every day and God is saying, give me 10. It's like tax. The government says pay tax. You are the one who's going to figure out how the 90% is going to work. Right? You tell God, okay, my manager, I'll see this 90%. We have 90,000 left. How do we turn this 90,000 now to 500,000? Manager say, okay, you know what will happen? Launch this product, put it, spend 20,000 on advert, and people will come. It is not your job. So you spend time, understand first that this entire thing you are doing, both the life you live, everything, you are God's manager, and God is never out of resources. He is global office. Number one, headquarters, HQ. HQ never, if you've worked with a corporate entity before, you know that HQ does not run out of money. you are in branch, the HQ don't run out of money, right? So God doesn't run out of anything, money, resources, friends, people. You want to build something, just sit down. Your job is sit down, look at what exactly you want to look at. Because here's what you don't know. Coach Kemi, sorry, hope I'm not taking so much time. Okay, so here's what you don't know is when you think, right? What you're doing is when you think, if you are someone who thinks for a long period of time, there's clarity to what you want to do, and it's some form of planning. So your thoughts is like proposal to God. It's like a full-blown proposal. So now I want to get a car. I'm not thinking of getting maybe a Corolla or something. I'm thinking of getting myself a GLE 450 2023. It costs about 58 million. And I like big cars. I'm a tall guy. I like big cars. Very, very big cars. My job is not to be thinking, where will I see 58 million? It's really not my business. I'm looking for official car. The car is official car of the global office. Very simple. So what do? I start thinking of the car. I think about it so well. I was telling one of my siblings, I think today, I was telling him that he should start working on his mind, that every single thing I have ever owned in my life, from gadgets to TVs to house, I thought about it. Everything, like I had the blueprints. One of the things I do is if I want to buy a gadget, I'll spend a lot of time watching reviews on it. I will watch reviews. Let it be my till I get it. And I watch it to the extent I must get it. You can't tell me anything. You can't convince me that I'm not going to get it. But most times, we don't have a picture. So when head office calls and say, okay, Kemi, what do you want to do? And there's no picture, nothing. You say, oh, anything you have for me. And they're like, what do you mean? We run a multinational company and saying anything you have for me. Please, can you submit what? Then you start looking for anything by the side and you try to give God. That doesn't work. But when you've meditated on something, when they call you up and be like, oh, Tosin, Mary, what do you have for us today? And they're like, oh, okay, based on what we are currently running, we need about 50 million to run a certain business. We need about this to do this. Head office is like, okay, we've looked at your past works. We see that 50 million will be a stretch. Let's start with 30. They are not stopping you. Because sometimes when God gives you little than you ask for, it looks as if God doesn't want to give it to you. No, God is just checking that his money is being managed right, like every CEO will do. And he'll check, okay, you need 30 million. Let's start with 30. You start with 30. And then you handle 30. They're like, okay, we've seen your capability. Let's stretch to 100. That's why when you think on a particular thing, you start to have clarity on it. You start to work on it. You start to get progress on it. It's like everybody wants to help you. It's like things around you are working out so fine. You see people saying, oh, I'm blessed, I'm favored. They're in the right mindset. The same thing with negative. The only difference now is that God is not in charge of negative. There's another person who is in charge of negative. And this guy works harder than you. His own job is to be pitching. And he's always calling. He's always texting you. How far? Nigeria is not good. Why not pick this idea that things are bad and start complaining like everybody? How far this? How far? There's always that office that is your competitor that's always trying to spoil things for your company. But your mindset is the proposal that you send to God about the things that you want to do for him. That's how you think it. Think about it. Your thoughts. You can't catch me thinking small. I used to tell my partner that if I want to get a house, I want to get a 10-bedroom. She's like, for what? And then I told her what I want to use 10 bedrooms for. She's like, oh, okay, makes sense. You can't convince me that I'm not going to live in a 10 bedroom. I had discussions with my friends today, and we're talking about a country home. I want my kids to do Formula One. I want them to start driving cars. You start saying these things so well that by the time it comes, you are not surprised. You are only surprised, and it doesn't last long because you are surprised. But if you are not surprised, don't think you get to work straight. God give you 10 million. You know what to do with 10 million. You're not surprised. It's not dash money. You are working for somebody. So when God gives it to you, go straight to work. But you see people who don't think about it and those things come into their hand because they have nothing to do. It's always a surprise. They can't replicate that result. But God gave you 100K. That mindset, you have collected the 100K and you are straight to work. You tell God, oh, based on what I'm thinking, because your thinking is your proposal, you sit down and tell God, okay, you know what's happening? We just did like 1 million. We need to stretch to like 2 million. God's like, we can't do 2 million now. Why not stretch it to like 5 million? You're like, okay, no problem. And you just go on. All of a sudden, in the middle of the month, you have crossed 5 million. God is like, let's stay to 50. You're like, 50 is a stretch. It's like, oh, we have the budget and we keep going. You must think of yourself as working for somebody. You are not independent of your source. Again, you are not independent of your source. Coach Kemi said something about we are gods. People struggle with, oh, am I a god and everything? Let me tell you something today about how things happen in your life and scatter at the same time. You know, when we want to say something, we start with the word I am. I am is the God quotient in every word that comes out of your mouth. The moment you say anything outside I am, it doesn't matter what it is, it must come to pass. Everything in existence will push it to pass. So if you open your mouth and say, oh God, I'm so frustrated, the I am is already a God quotient. There's nothing you can do anymore. The only way you can speak against it is to say, I am not frustrated. Because what that word does is when you say, I am frustrated, the God quotient puts frustrated and then that's power to frustration to bring frustration into life. When Moses asked, what will I tell them that? Who will I tell them sent me? He said, I am. God is present. God is power. God is everything. So when you say, oh God, I'm so tired, you notice that you are getting tired. The more you say I'm tired, you are getting tired. And you say, oh, more today just get as it be. I just they tired, they go, they tired. It's what you are saying that is making you tired. But when you stand up and say, oh, I feel refreshed, even if your body doesn't feel refreshed. I was watching something yesterday. The person said, your feelings are data points about your current existence. You don't have to make it the actual data. You don't have to make it an existence. So when you are feeling, you are feeling tired, it's just data points. Your body is trying to tell you, okay, what should we do from here? Your job as a God being is to say, I am strong. I am strong. I am strong. I am good. I am enabled. I am good. You can't convince me today that I will not be an amazing man or an amazing husband. I've told myself so much about it that I will spoil my wife. They say you spoil your wife stupid. You should be spoiled reckless. Now, do I know what it? I know what it would take to spoil a woman. It's not my business to find those things, right? I do my work. It's God's job because the marriage itself is God's company we're working for. It's another staff is adding to me. So when I tell him I need to spoil this staff that you have assigned to me, he has to provide every resource. So see yourself, when you are spending money anyhow, just know that you are spending manager's money. You are spending CEO's money. Some of you spend things on things that you don't need. You spend things on things that are not productive. And then you go back to CEO. CEO say, oh, yeah, give me an account. The last 100,000 we gave you, what did you use it for? And you say, oh, manager, CEO, I had some issue. CEO say, I know you had issue, but I didn't send you that money for the issue. I sent it for you to do business. And he said, manager, my grandfather is sick. Say, but your grandfather is in another department and we are sorting that one out. So what's your challenge? You can't say anything. And you wonder why you keep repeating cycles. You go up today, you come down, you are tired. You go up today, you come down, you are tired. You can't repeat your success. You can't repeat your progress. So if you're living here today, remember that in as much as we're all trying to go and all of that, you work for somebody. You work for God, right? This earth is our project, right? The Bible says when God finished creating everything he was creating, he had not yet started growing anything because there was no man to manage it. There was no man to take care of it. So your own job here is to build this place. You are working for him. All the cash you're going to make, all the billions, the dollars, the people you're going to meet, the influence, he needs you to work here. So when you are going to him, don't go to him as though you are begging. I was telling Coach Kemi the other day that you can't beg God for anything
Out of your
because it's an insult to his person. If you pray and you're always crying, I'm not saying don't cry and be emotional when you pray, no. But you're always going to God like one beggar. Oh God, God help me. God, if you don't help me, I will die. That's rubbish. Because you are a God, you are a prince, you are a king. He said, when you appear before me, you appear before me with boldness to obtain grace and mercy. I have never seen the children of kings come into their father's presence shaking. It's not possible. It's not possible. When they come to their, even military, when they come to their father's presence with so much boldness, as I'm come to request for something, so my father should know. And the father said, what do you want? It's okay, I'm going to this place. I want to go and do this. I want to do this. Okay. What have you been able to do? So he will ask you a question. Once you answer a question, you get access and you start going. But you never see, it's always slaves or followers that come to the king's palace begging. And God is trying to tell you, I made you for myself. You are not a slave. You are not a commoner. You are from me. So when you come before me, stop all this cry. Stop all this shedding tears and, pity. Come before me with boldness and stand upright and tell me what you want. And you obtain mercy and grace to help you exactly when you need it. So you don't come to me and be saying, oh, God, I've been suffering. My mother, my father, things are so tough. God, God. That's rubbish. When you come to God, you tell God, good afternoon, sir. I'm here on behalf of so. This is my destiny. This is what we've been doing. I've presented my case. If you read Isaiah 45, verse 26, it says, lay your case before me. Let us argue it out. Let's have a conversation on this issue. You are claiming that I've not given you money. Sit down, let's talk. You are claiming that I've not helped you. Sit down, let's talk. You are claiming that, oh, I let this happen. Or what have you learned from everything that I've been teaching you? All the bad things that happened in your life. Did you come to me and ask me for what purpose? Did you come to me and tell me, what did I get from this? How did I go? Okay, you're owing money. And so what? Are you the first person? How many people have I brought out from debts and all of that? You have issues with your husband. How many women have been in terrible marriages and come out? You have issues with your wife. How many men have been in terrible marriages and they came out fine? Are you learning? Are you bringing your case before me? Have you talked to this about me? Abi, you're just begging, oh God. That's rubbish. God doesn't expect that from us. So you need to get to that place where you're like, I work for somebody. I owe this person an explanation. If I don't get things right, you go to him. Me like this now, I think for the past 4 months, the way I live my life is simple. If he starts stressing me, I carry my pillow straight and I sleep. I sleep very well. I sleep, I wake up. If the thing is more than me, I tell God, oh, see you, concerning this issue now, this is your company. I'm not getting the result I want to get. That means you too, you are not getting the result you want to get. You know the things you want to do concerning this company. Oh yeah, what should we do now? And I sit down on it. So you sit down, for some of us who pray, for some of us who sit down quiet. For some people, it's while studying your Bible. All the ways, because you hear God differently. You can hear his voice, you can hear it through people, and you can hear it through his word. You sit down and you listen. You'll be surprised that you're just sitting quiet. It might be in the bathroom, water just touch your head, room behind comes. You carry your phone with your wet hand, you write everything you want to write. But pay attention. Everything you want to create today by December, between now and December, submit it to God via your thoughts, and it will come to pass. If it does not come to pass, come, I'll give you from the one of mine that came to pass. Thank you very much.
Look at the mother. Do you want to say anything? I wanted to go. Thank you so much. There was a question here. I've seen we are saying, I am strong while sick, has caused some major issues. Where and when do we draw the line on this matter? Church has taught us wrong. They've taught us to say, I'm well. Let the weak say, I am strong, and let the poor say, I am rich. You are right to say it, but if your thoughts and your words do not align, then they're out of vibration. I used to do it too, and I used to wonder why I didn't get well. I've had a mini stroke before, been in hospital for over 7 days. I've been diagnosed with asthma. I was on 2 pumps. I've had aortic stenosis. They said I was born with a narrowed aorta. I've had chest pains. I've had all kinds. I've been in and out of hospital, but I'm not on even paracetamol today. I'm not. I was on after the mini stroke, I was paralyzed on my left side. I'm not using anything. One, I found out that medication does not work for me. where all of you are thinking that, you know, where it works for some people. I just found out that drugs either didn't work or cost much, or vitamins will constipate me. So I don't use them. I don't use supplements. I don't use anything. My medicine is in my food. So I've learned to find my medicine in my food, not the fake things they put in tins and all that, tins, bags. They put stuff in it to make it last that long on the shelf. If you put yam for a long time, it will spoil because it's organic. But the inorganic stuff, they've added all kinds of stuff that will make us sick. So I just found out that my body is different. I can't explain it. So I've learned to eat my medicine in my food. So the thing is, your thinking and your words must align. But for you to speak out of the abundance of your heart, the thoughts in your heart must create the abundance that you speak out of. So many times we are speaking out of the abundance of a fear-filled heart. It's filled with fear thoughts, but we are saying, I'm well. But we are thinking, hey, this thing might kill me. This thing might become this. I better go to the doctor. There's nothing wrong with the doctor. Go to the doctor, stay on your meds, do whatever you want. But I believe in faith. I believe in thinking myself whole, going to the place and saying you are well. In my mind, you are strong. You can only get stronger and stronger. You are whole. And I'm seeing it. I'm seeing myself walking straight. I'm imagining it with intensity. I'm feeling my body. I told you I had, everything was running. I was sneezing. I was shivering. I woke up, the next one was healed. I didn't use anything. I said, this thing works. Is a law, it works. So with the 34 of us left here, can I add something to answer that question? Yes, you may.
Okay, so to the person that asked the question about, oh, saying I'm this, there's a correlation between your thoughts and your words, but it doesn't automatically negate the actions you should take. It's like waking up and saying, I'm going to make money, 100 million for my business. If you don't go out to sell, you are just whining yourself. If you don't go out to do business, if you don't take the calls, if you don't do the necessary things. So you can be saying, I'm healed, right? But take your drugs. Don't be testing God. Don't go and be testing God. If you take drugs, if drugs work for you, like Coach Kemi said, if it works for you, take it. But don't sit down and be saying, I'm healed, even though you know you don't believe any bit of it. You know you don't believe it. Everything lies in that force that is backing it. And the more you say it, the more it becomes real. And, you know, was it who, I've forgotten who said, if what you have said, you can't see it, then you don't believe it. If you can't see it, then you don't believe it. If you're saying, oh God, I need a car tomorrow. If you can't see a car tomorrow, you're wasting your time. Don't worry, just go and sleep. You don't believe it. It's as simple as ABC. I've had situations like that too, where I still remember sometime last year, I think it was April last year, I just got a product design job with a big company. I was to build an app for fintech, you know, and you know, it was a lot. It was like over 200 screens. On the second day of doing this project, my body was like, I hit a truck. I could not move. I was just on the bed. You know, you wake up, you drink water, you go. I said, no, yeah, you want to spoil my reputation. It's not me and you. It cannot even happen. So I looked for something in the Bible. I think it was somewhere in Psalms. It says it gives healing to his flesh and strength to his bones. And I just kept saying it. The problem was I believed it too fast. And when I believed it too fast, I worked for 4 days straight. A 2 weeks project, I finished it in 4 days. And it was very scary for me. I had to take a long break because the strength that came upon me was more than I asked for. And it was too fast. So if you notice in yourself that, oh, this is not, just once you have not gotten it, you have not believed. If you are still checking for it, you have not believed. If you believe, you won't know that it's there. It's like you are going to the ATM. If you are going, okay, Nigerian ATM is funny sometimes. I want to use something that we all experience in Nigeria. We know that cannot change. NEPA, for instance, if NEPA takes lights, you are not doubting that they've taken lights. Maybe somebody in the UK would doubt. If you think maybe his own socket spoiled or the bulb is bad, oh no, they cannot take. But NEPA take lights in Nigeria. You are very sure there's nothing. You are not surprised. You just go to your gen and pull it up. It's the same way in your own life. If you've not seen it, don't believe it until you see it. And seeing it doesn't mean you must touch it. Seeing it is in your heart, it's done. You have already moved on from the matter. You are not coming back to come and check, to come and cry, to come and confirm. You have moved on. If I say, okay, oh, somebody is going to pay me 200K today, my business is I'm sitting down, waiting, doing what I have to do, and all of that. The money will come. People find me from all over the place. On Monday, we were, Coach Kemi was like, think about something and all. Somebody reached out to me and said, this 11 a.m. in the night, and said, oh, I want to do this. I want to do. Somebody sent me your contact from somewhere, and the person that sent me your contact, I've never spoken to the person for like 1 year, and I closed that, particular business. You don't have to do, and just sit in your house. Manager will answer you as normal. You work for a global office. Thank you very much, guys. I hope we all enjoyed tonight.
I just want us to do something practical.
Okay.
Saul, I love your response. Please connect with me or go into my DM. Let's talk. You've mentioned the right names right there. So we're having a private conversation. Sorry, people. But I want to.
Your voice is out, man.
Can you still hear me?
It's echoing. It's echoing.
Let me put it down. I want us to do a 2-minute meditation, because someone put something here about holding a thought, and I do love to ask for 2 or 3 practical things on how to focus on a single thought till you see the reality. You know, the questions you're asking are so simple. I don't know if you can hear this music, but they're so simple. I need something else that's not sounding like this. I need something else. Bear with me. For 2 minutes, I need Nnamdi. Can you please put 2 minutes on your phone? Because I'm using my phone to play music. All right. So what you need is a quiet place. And I want you to please, what you need is a quiet place. And I want you to please be in a quiet place now. And I'm going to raise your desires. I want you, 24, he wanted to say, okay. Thank you for Lakemi. I want you to see yourself having $10 billion by this Saturday, the 20th of July. Actually it's 20, I saw. $20 billion by this Saturday. And I'd like you to close your eyes and just do what I'm telling you to do. I want you, I have to explain why you breathe in, but it takes a lot of things, take a lot of time. So if you're not spending time in these things with people or books or whatever that teach you this stuff, you're not going to get it. So close your eyes, and I want you to think of having in your possession physically the word $20 billion becoming flesh in your hand. I want you to see it in your hand. $20 billion. If you can't get what that is in your mind, calculate it. I calculate it in Naira. I calculate what at least $1 million will look like. So $100 million is $1 billion. So times 20. So you don't have to go that far, but at least see. You need to be, your mentality needs to be able to see it and have it. Understand it needs to be clear. You need to mentally understand it. There's a word the Bible used for the word understanding. Mentally separate. That's it. Mentally separate things so you will know exactly how it works. And if it's separate, you can put it back together. So you mentally separate things. $20 billion by Saturday. I want you to just breathe in with your eyes closed, please. Breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in through your nose and then breathe out through your mouth. All right? Breathe in through your nose again. Breathe out through your mouth. Do it one more time. This is not magic. I'm just saying do it this way. You don't have to do it 3 times, 10 times. There are no rules. Don't give yourself rules. God is not stuck. He's not rigid. There are laws, but they are not rules. And then I want you to start to think and relax yourself that you are God. You are exactly God. You know the way a woman gets pregnant and she pushes out a child that looks like a human being, looks like herself and her husband. I want you to see yourself. You came out of God and you look exactly like him. You have his likeness, looks. You have his image, looks, his likeness, nature. As you are seeing yourself, you come out of God. That means you look like God. Now I want you to see his power, that since you came out of him and you look like him, then you do exactly what you are able to do, exactly what he does, right? So I want you to see that as well, that I do exactly what he does. With God, there is no limitation, none whatsoever. None, no limitation. There is nothing he can't do. That means there is nothing you can't do. And then see $20 billion. You relax, not make it happen. Just relax and see, this is mine. God created, I to create. With his words, he created. With my words, I create. God thought of something in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. I to think about the same thing. I didn't say go and find it. I didn't say go and collect it. I didn't say think about how it will come. I said this. Think as God. Ye are gods. This thing is with God, all things are possible. That means ye are God, with you, all things are possible. So just stay in that state of I am God. This thing is possible. $20 billion, my son. Just stay there. Just stay there. I didn't say go and find out how it will come. Just stay. The ease of it, the flow of it. Just stay there. See $20 billion coming to you. Not you rushing after it. Welcome it, receive it. You can move your hand. You can begin to put it in your bank. You can put it in a bag. You can just put it on your bed. See it happening. Collect it. Say thank you, God. Thank you, Father. I really thank you for this money. I thank you for your provision. I receive it. Thank you, Lord. I believe I have received. So when you believe you've received something, you collect it now. You put it in your bag. You go and you say to your wife, to your friend, to your brother, whosoever you want to say, I've just received this amount of money. It's in the bank. Matter of fact. Okay. You can open your eyes. For those of you that did it, how did that feel? I want to know, was it impossible? Did it seem like impossible? Was it difficult for you to even imagine doing all that? I will appreciate how for that you share. How did that go for you? And this is how to focus. That person that asks, how do I focus? Who wants to share? If you didn't do it, type in there. I couldn't picture Twitter. Do you know why? Do you know why you couldn't picture $20 billion? Surreal. You felt peace. I used to see bursts of light. I still see it like, sure. You could see $1 million anyway. So it's a start. It's a start. That's nice. You felt peace, Clema Diesu. And this is all, it's different for everyone. Anybody else going to share? Namdi, what did you see? Is he still here? Namdi left us. Looks like he has. I'm liking this. I could only see 1.6 million. Wow, that's so definite with peace. Stay there. I'm telling you, once you guys get this stuff, it was surprisingly easy for Florence. I got a message from my bank showing the message. I saw myself sitting in a room with white people, and they handed me a check. Jesus, of $20 billion. I just felt present in the moment. That is beautiful. It was nice to be able to just share money with people. Oh, I struggled at first. It was surreal. I felt peace. I felt a kind of peace and oh, that is so lovely. I felt peace and settled. Oh, that is so beautiful. I didn't even see that. I didn't expect that. And so this is what you do. This is how you focus. Close your eyes. You're quiet. You're chilled out. And you just see what you want. And guess what? Before you sleep, do it again. Just before you sleep. Oh, because there's things about the beta, alpha state, theta state, gamma, and all those. You have to learn that. There are things I teach in some of my classes, but just don't go into all that depth. All these things will come to you. Can you imagine? What was it Hope that said it? I saw my back home. I saw my new house fully furnished. It looked like a hotel, yet it was my personal house. I tell you, these things exist. It's impossible for us to do 2-3 minutes, however long we did, and for all these things to just happen. They've always been there. You just did not access the spiritual realm. You did not access your thinking that way. That's all. It's there waiting for you to take delivery. That's all. I saw myself putting dollars on my bed. I was just putting, this is a lot. When will I finish? Then I took a bag. I was putting in a bag. I know what the bag looks like. It's actually in my room, the exact style, and I was stuffing the bag. Then I put some under my bed. You are going to explain why I couldn't see $20 billion because you have just started, and for you it's scary. It was scary for me. When I started with 1,000, I couldn't hack it. Then I started to practice on 1 million. I got little cards and I wrote 1 million, 1 million. I have something here. Is it still here? Is it in this one or is in the other one? I looked at the size. I Googled the size of a $100 bill, and I measured 10 $100,000 bills. And because I wanted, is it 1 million or 1 billion? I don't know. No, that's what that is. And I take that and I say thank you, and I'll be counting it. I think it's in that other notebook. I'll be counting it. 100,000, 200,000, 300. For real, I have it, and I wrote $100 million. I think this is a billion I want. You can do whatever works for you. Permit me, ma. I also discovered that while on it, distracting thoughts came. But then I remembered I was keeping calm with my eyes closed to see something specific, and I focused again. Well done, Florence. We don't give in, we don't give up. We don't care what's happening around us. We are not this environment. The things that can be seen are temporal. The things that cannot be seen are eternal. Nobody can touch your imagination. Nobody can touch your spirit, man. They can't kill your spirit. They can take this and they say, their heart has stopped beating. But you are alive and well. You are a spirit. That's how you are born. This one is just the tent that covers your spirit. And then your soul, where your mind and your will, your emotions are. That's it. But who you are is who you should reckon with. Don't reckon with who you are not. This is temporary. It will pass away. Everybody is a day closer to their death day. We are further away from our birth date. Even the baby, my granddaughter that's going to be one later in the year, she's a day closer every day to her death date. We don't know what that is, but we are going to live long. How long do you want to live? I want to live till I'm 100. And I'm going to be strong like this, talking like this, still jogging, still running, still walking. I'm saying it for me, and I see it. My hair, I look for white hair. It's coming small, small. I want plenty of it. I want to be looking chilled out. Eating right, not, hey, my back, hey, my side, hey, let me limp. No, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to do my 100 squats every day. I'm at 30 now. I want to be able to do my 100 squats every day. Use my resistance belt. So nobody's going to use, look at you. No wonder people say, oh, you don't look like you're going to be 60. I know what I'm doing to this body. Must keep going because I have work to do. How about you? It's not, oh, my genes, my genes. It's not about your genes. If you know about epigenetics, you know you cannot change your genes, but you can change how your genes operate by your thinking. That's all. That's all. So if I don't remember for us to practice this tomorrow, please remind me so we can do it again. The more we do, and then the more we do it, there's global thinking, you know, there's community thinking where we're all thinking the same thing, that your life will be good, Innocent Uja, your life will be good, Victoria, Chukwu Emeka, your life is good, Clement Diso, your life is good, Clement Diso, and Namdi, your life is good. And we're all thinking the same way. And it creates the same vibration, like the molecules in our body, our cells, vibrating the same. And then there is this community goodness, then this global goodness, this national goodness. It's not that you're thinking for yourself. I get, like Adiola said, she said it felt good to be able to share money with people. It felt good to be able to give more. No. This thing is beautiful. Oh, God has given us some invisible power that we don't use because we can't see it. Stop waiting to see anything. You don't need to see it because you can already see it. Namdi, we are good to go. I hope this serves somebody today. Thank you for staying so long. It's the people that come and stay. Those are the G's or the VIPs or the whatever we call them. Mr. Namdi, I'm good to go.
Thank you very much, guys. Recordings will be available on the 21st, on the birthday night. It will be available on Coach Kenny's birthday. Don't forget to tag, post, and all of that on everywhere on social media, and wish her the best wishes. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Stay strong. See you tomorrow. 2 days to go. Pray for me. Woo! Bye. Bye-bye. You are all amazing. Thank you so. Bye.